So apparently we're ready for a countdown. So let's get this one underway. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So today you have the pleasure of watching Kingdom Hearts 2.5 ran moderately quickly on the PlayStation 4. So Kingdom Hearts has had a lot of games in the series. There are a lot of different versions of each of the games as well. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out on PS2 a good 15 years ago or so. And loads of different versions came out since then, like 2 Final Mix, 2.5 on PS3, PS4, stuff like that. So there are loads of versions of the game. This is 2.5 on PS4, so it has like the fastest loading times and everything like that. A lot of the other things are very similar though to the previous versions. So I guess the first thing to talk about here is that this is the tutorial section of the game basically, so just learning the roots of combat, things like that, as we do with this character, Roxas. And at the start I did a specific few combos on the enemy that I just went against, and I should be able to do a bunch of specific combos for the next 5 minutes, which control the RNG that I'm going to get, the randomness, and what the enemies are going to do. So I knew this enemy was going to use this move, for example, because of the previous fight and how I set it up. One of the most amazing things about the PS4 version of this game is that there's hardly any loading times, like very, very minimal. So although you get less breaks when you're speedrunning it, to take a sip of water and things like that, that I used to take for granted in the old KH2, the loading times make it's so fluid compared to previous games, so it's really good. And obviously a lot faster time-wise as well. This runs about an hour faster than the original PS2 version. So at the start, there's a bunch of little things you got to do, like, you know, really, really basic things to learn combat. I missed that girl over there. Let me go back. So right now we're doing some summer jobs to earn some money, so we can head to the next section. So there's a lot of story-based stuff, just building up to the transition when you turn from Roxas into Sora. Okay. You'll find that the triangle button tends to do a lot in this game. So whenever you want to interact with someone or interact with a thing, you usually press triangle. So if there's 2 people next to each other that, you know, you react the same button to talk to them, then you can end up talking to the wrong person. So I did that with the skateboard there, accidentally picked it up again. That's probably going to happen a lot. Okay, so those dusks, they take 10 hits with the bat. Obviously I can't actually hit them, but 10 swings that are relatively close. And now we finally get the weapon, and we're going to hold on to this for the rest of the run, basically, the Keyblade. So these guys take 2 hits and then a full combo to kill. We do the 2 hits first because it staggers the enemy and keeps them really close to you. The finisher pushes the enemies quite far away, so you want to make sure you do the 2 hits first before you do the full combo with the finisher. Again, just little story things like picking up a potion. That potion I'm actually just going to use during the next fight, even if I don't need to, just to clear my inventory, so menus are easier later on and faster to do. If you have 1 extra item in your inventory, it can mess up the locations of other items, so that could happen throughout the run. Sometimes you can get a lucky item drop, but it's usually not that common. So right here is where I'm going to use the potion. Get that out of the way. Okay. Right, so this is the first boss fight of the run, basically. Just again, we're looking at more of an introduction fight, so there's a lot of pressing triangle, as you can see. Whenever it pops up in the bottom left, I'm going to be pressing that for the most part, so especially for this section where it's the only thing you can do. And I mean, the animations for this are really long, but the moves do a lot of damage. Oh yeah, They actually left a hitbox there for the boss's foot. For some reason, they left it right in the middle, so you can walk over and you can clank on that with the keyblade. So there are so many small things and weird things like that that I've been doing for the past 8 years. So don't look weird at all to me now, but... Alright. So this is going well so far. Like, perfect fight. Just been mashing triangle the whole time, but... So I'm going to aim to get 4 combos on his head here. The fastest way to do combos is air combos, so... I'm going to be trying to do that. Cool. They made the combos a lot smoother in the PS4 version as well compared to PS2, so that's a big difference that I'm quite thankful for. Alright, so walk away when he uses those vines. I got 2 more combos, might be able to get him out here. Cool, alright. So good fight, good start to the run. We'll see how long that continues. Yeah, the first hour of the run I have pretty much memorized, like all the menus and stuff that you do. It's later on, after that, I've got my notes up on my phone to look at if I need them for menus and things like that. Menuing is very quick in this game, so if I go to equip items or abilities, then I can change them very quickly. In the first menu, I changed the camera settings, the horizontal left and right directions the camera goes. And also put on guard, so I can now use guards in these struggle fights. This one I'm not going to need it, I'm just going to keep this guy against the wall. I do a little pause in between each combo, and then also time my hits in the combo a little bit slower than usual, just so he doesn't retaliate quicker. And get all the orbs from him and then try and steal as many as I can. Okay, so that was pretty clean. So you can see the timer clocks down from 60 to 0, and the winner at the end of the time limit is the one with the most orbs, but you can beat both of these fights in like 30 seconds. This fight's a bit trickier. This guy retaliates after 6 hits. You saw I do 6 there and he retaliated. So I actually use that quite a lot here to my advantage, because I know exactly when he's gonna like retaliate. So I do 6 hits in a certain pattern. And then I know he dies right here after the 6 hits, so he just chills in the corner, can take all the orbs. And that was a pretty good VV fight. So, yeah, that one only took 23 seconds. So you can see how it's pretty important to end those fights early instead of waiting for the time limit. Alright, so the reversal triangle RC here is pretty useful. Like, it's kind of slow when you use it, but it will group up the enemies, they'll slow down a bit, stop attacking you, so that's good to have. Okay, so this is, I guess, the second boss fight. Axel here. He's going to attack you right at the start, so you got to know that's coming. And then you do 3 combos. Do a guard. I didn't hit the finish on that combo, so I'm going to do an extra 2 hits here. And you should die. Okay, good. Time I'll miss up one of those combos and he'll just completely retaliate. And he has a move where you can't hit him, and he does it for like 10 seconds, so I'm glad that didn't happen.
My life is a chicken.
Right, so this fight, you have to, you lose, because the item for losing is way better than the item for winning. So you gotta lose this fight. The fastest way to do so is to attack him as soon as he attacks you. So he retaliates. So I'm jumping a little bit because I fall to the ground quicker when I get hit. If I'm on the ground, I'll show it off here. There's like a big, like, you have to wait for a little while to retaliate, so this is the best way to make sure that you end the fight quickly. I'd say 26 is about average. So yeah, again, dying there gives you the medal that you just saw there, which gives you +1 strength. If you actually win that fight, you get a champion's belt, and that gives you defense, which, although I may die a couple times throughout the run, like, defense in general shouldn't be an issue. Like, you shouldn't die. Like, at the very top level, you shouldn't be dying in fights, so the defense doesn't really help. And obviously the strength helps you go faster. You do more damage to enemies, things like that. So every single strength point is really valued in this run. this section of the game, you go through 7 mysteries, like they're called the 7 wonders of Twilight Town, and they're just weird things that are like unexplained. And in each of these weird wonders that you go through, everyone's like, oh, it's just this guy was throwing this ball or something like that. And then in the cutscene, you'll see that it's actually the main bad guys of the game that are messing up all these things. So they are actually like supernatural kind of things, but everyone always makes excuses saying, oh no, it's just this, things like that. If you wanted to know the story of KH2. These are VV clones, they randomly spawn, which can be annoying, but that was actually really good until the end, so I'll take that. Yeah, so they have random spawns. Hopefully they all group up together so you can kill like more than one with one hit of the Keyblade. And that happened quite a few times there. Good. I missed that skateboard a lot. I just walked to the right by accident sometimes, so I'm glad I got that. Dnipador? No. Okay, so I put the medal on there. Again, strength is really important, and this upcoming fight, if you've got a strength point, then you could do one less combo to kill him. The goal here is going to be to do some air combos, but I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to do that. They are quite difficult to pull off. You have to keep like a low center of gravity, so... Okay, I had a couple, that was good. And after finishing each one of these fights, the loading zone there is long enough to get a sip of water, so... If you are interested in running this game, you do have small breaks like that. It just won't be the loading times, because they don't exist. Let me go up to one of the last wonders here. This one right here could soft lock the game, but it's very, very rare. Like, insanely rare. If it does, then I guess you're watching, like, me and one of the organizers play the Modern Warfare Alpha for, like, few hours, but hopefully I shouldn't softlock it. They say that mashing triangle as hard as you possibly can is the reason for the softlock, so I'm going to try and mash as hard as I can. Didn't get it. So the run has to continue, unfortunately, but there's only 3.5 hours left. The next wonder coming up basically happens in a cutscene, so just walking through this section. There's a lot of sort of light sections of this game where you don't have to do too much. Sort of walking from one area to another, things like that, so there are some points where you have little, like, mental breaks. It's mainly the fights and the strategies that you do that are the hard part, because a lot of them involve, a lot of inputs per second on your controller. Especially towards the second half of the run. Skateboards, obviously, for movement. You could do tricks with the skateboard in mid-air, stuff like that. It doesn't really slow you down. Like, the skateboard just has set speeds all the time. But I haven't played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in about 5 years, so I didn't want to try any tricks. Probably would have messed him up. Alright, this fight in the alleyway is going to introduce us to a new enemy in a second. So after I kill these couple enemies. And this enemy likes to stick to the floor. So you might see that a couple times. The goal here is to catch him before he goes into the floor. Okay. So, that was good. For some reason I thought another one was going to spawn, but no, there's more of those later. Oh. All 3 of them jumped, which is interesting. They all have, like, I think they all have a 30% chance to jump there, and I got all 3 of them to jump, so I guess that's cool. It's not really going to change much about the run, but it's interesting to see what sort of RNG you can get. So now just ignoring the enemies. Thankfully in this game there isn't really any experience grinding. There kind of is, but it's in a fight that you have to do anyway, so For the most part, you just avoid all of these enemies when you're walking to and from places. The game scales damage towards the end, so by the time you get to the final fights, even though you're around level 35 and the battle level for the world is level 50, it scales your damage up, so you do, you know, good damage still. Your health and defense, however, do not like get scaled up, so the final fights are quite dangerous. But we're a good couple hours away from that now. I'm gonna stop thinking about that and just worry about it later. This fight, more of the same with these enemies, just doing like 2 hits and stuff like that. I do a couple reversals here to stun them, just because I want them grouped up. And then try to do as many full combos as possible. Okay, good. I managed to catch that guy when he spawned, which is really good. Take that one out, and then I've got this one. About to go. Start at the right time. And that's that fight done. Now we have one more fight for the section. And then finally we get to play as the good character.
Come here, I'll make
This
it all
character's
stop.
movements are a little bit clunky compared to the next one, so... Okay, so during these ramp combos you can press square a little bit earlier to use combo modifier. So a bunch of abilities that you can equip during a activate when you press square mid-combo. So you can do that a couple times throughout the round. And that's the first section done. It's been no soft lock so far, which is good. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you got a £40 donation.
£40 donation.
Yeah, from AJNYX.
Wow.
They say iiSalad running Kingdom Hearts going to be a good watch and great for charity too.
Well, thank you very much for that donation. Donald. Okay, I think that's the menu I had to do. I got distracted by the donation, so I couldn't get my notes up. The good thing about the menu is if I forget to do something, I can just hop back in real quick. It doesn't really matter. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take Donald's cure off and customize these two to both party attack. Okay. So I switched them to party attack in their customizers. That basically means that they're just going to avoid the enemies that I'm attacking. So they'll attack different enemies. So they sort of leave me alone and allow me to do my combos. And also I took Donald's cure off because, what did I think there's a couple fights where you want your health to be a bit lower, stuff like that, so you take Donald's cure off for that reason. And this fight can end in a multitude of different ways. So you could go down to a third of your health bar, but that takes a really long time to do, even in like standard crowd mode. So especially in beginner mode, we definitely don't want to do that. It would take way too long. Plus the amount of experience you get from killing those enemies is too good to pass up on. You can also end the fight by doing 100 hits with the Keyblade, which is what I'm going to be aiming to be doing. So every time my Keyblade touches an enemy, even if it hits more than one enemy with one swing, counts as a hit, and I need 100 of those to end the fight. So obviously I don't count them in my head, but I just try to get as many hits as possible and then see when the fight ends. So the idea is hopefully to group a bunch of them together, but they do spawn like randomly across the arena and things like that. Oh, that fight can also end after about a minute 30 seconds. So if you end up really, really slow, then the fight will end. Whenever it ends that way, you're just sitting there like, wow, how did I get that bad at this game to where I can't end it early? So the goal, especially for the start of the game here, is for Donald to just use Thunder a lot to kill the enemies, as you can see. It one-shots most of the enemies here, so we really want Donald to just use Thunder for the entire tower. He doesn't, but it's what you want him to do. Whereas most people, when they play through these games, want Donald to heal you. I've taken Cure off, and I want him to spam Thunders, so I'm taking a slightly different approach than I would maybe casually playing through the game. This guy's probably going to go underground again. That happens a lot. They can go underground like twice in a row. Yeah, these are some of the most annoying enemies in the game. This is a section of the game where you can have quite a lot of time loss and have absolutely none of it your fault. But I mean, it's gone okay so far. I haven't had a shadow like go underground twice for me or anything like that yet. I might have just jinxed myself, but hey. Alright, so this is a new enemy. These are soldiers. Just take one combo right now. That was quick. Soldiers do have a reaction command, one of the triangle spammy button things, but I didn't get to see it then. It's something that I might use in a later fight. And that is the tower. I'm gonna kill this guy for a bit of experience. Oh, okay. And get a Dark Shard, which I think has about a 5% drop rate, so lucky run so far. And like I mentioned earlier, that will now mean that in the menus, my items might be in slightly different places, so I just gotta watch out for that, because that Dark Shard is just slotted into the item section. We also learn what stickers are, or the puzzle pieces. I actually did a puzzle percent run at last year's UKSM, which was pretty fun, when you collect all the puzzle pieces in the entire game. Thankfully I don't have to do that this time. There's a lot of them. Especially solving the puzzles at the end, that was difficult. There's probably a bunch of people at home watching thinking, I like puzzles. I want to give that a shot. Speedrun puzzle percent. I can't tell you there's a guide out there for it, because I'm pretty sure there isn't, but just work it out as you go along. Okay. I keep checking my phone for menus just in case I've missed something out, but we're good until like the next one. So the main goal is to get that new guy that's just there and take it out quickly, so that was pretty much a perfect fight, like as good as you can get really. Oh yeah, I'm suddenly red with 2 clean blades. I should probably mention why that is. So at the end of the tower, I get given my first drive form, which is Valor form. It's this red thing. It runs pretty fast, as you can see, faster than when you normally walk around. So I'm using this for movement throughout the run quite a lot, just from place to place. But it's also really good in some fights as well. We pick up an AT boost. They are ability point boosts, so I can use those to equip more abilities. And I actually made it into this area without losing my Valor form, which is pretty rare for me, so that's cool. Right, and now we have magic. So I have Blizzard, as you can see in the bottom left there. Oh, I accidentally used it, showing you guys what we had. We have Blizzard. I've used that a few times in this fight, but a lot of times throughout the run. Like, this spell comes in really useful, as does most of the magic. Right here, I'm going to set up for a guard. Alright, missed it. That's fine. I got the reaction one anyway. So that one, if you position correctly, like in between all of the enemies, which is kind of random. Like it depends on where the guys are, and where you get the reaction from. But if I'm actually in the right place for those commands, then it just takes every enemy and like pretty well. So the goal is to get a couple of those throughout the fight, and then just to clean the rest up with combos and blizzards. I think there's an enemy at the back that Leon's toying with. good at finishing up this fight. There we go. Surprised they didn't get hit during that combo. And as you saw in the top right, possibly, I just got fire. So I now have Blizzard and Fire as two magic spells, and they'll be used quite a lot throughout the run, especially in the next world and towards the start. There's a lot of magic because it's really powerful at the start of the game. As you can see with Donald's Thunder, like one-shotting all the shadows. So now we have our first gummy mission. These are basically like 3-minute breaks in the run. Nothing I do here is going to affect what happens later on. So I can't do anything that will give me like a special weapon or anything like that. It's like its own little game, these sections. So I just got to not die and I make it through without having to restart the entire thing. So that's very easy. You don't take a lot of damage. There's a couple of gummy missions later on with super powerful boss space shields, Star Wars and stuff like that. Other space adventure films are available, but yeah, dying is not going to be a thing. I'm sitting there thinking it's a marathon, I could die, expect the worst, but I'm really not going to die on this. It'll be fine. What I could do is go for a specific amount of points. Something like that. Like I tend to do that occasionally. I'm gonna say maybe 10,000. I'll try and get around 10,000. But it's quite difficult to do. I'm gonna have to solo out single enemies. So if I kill too many at once, then I'm gonna get way too many points. Every time your bullet hits an enemy, you get points as well. There's basically no chance of me getting 1,000. So every time you get hit, you get 1 point. So if you wanted to get, like, people actually go for 0 points in these gummy missions sometimes, and you have to avoid getting hit for the entire thing. Also, because of that, the biggest value you can have on the far right is a 9. It doesn't reshuffle back over to 0 when you take another hit of damage. I can't get 10,000 exactly, but I'll try and get 9999. Needs to take a few hits first. Alright, well, 10,048, that will do. 10,609. I like that number. So yeah, there's not anything to talk about in those gummy missions really, they're just auto-scroller, so if there's any way I can try and make them fun, I will. Also, if you heard a bit of a like high-pitched noise at the end there, I was mashing triangle as hard as I can. It doesn't do anything for speed, but it's just fun. It's funny because I do that all the time, but I don't actually play with game audio, so I don't even get to hear it. So I'm taking Ping's stuff here, and then putting right Ethers on Sora, and then pressing the PlayStation button to get up 2 tutorial sections. If you don't do that, you actually get 4 tutorial sections later, so it saves time later on. I'm going to go in Valor Form here for movement. And we also want to hit level 3 Valor Form before one of the fights in this world. So right here I'm going to try and get as many hits in as possible. So for that reason I'm going to try to avoid doing the finishes because they generally give less hits than the normal combos. Okay, that was pretty good. They all grouped together at the end. Ping, or it's Mulan. If you haven't seen the film, this is Mulan. But she's disguised as a boy right now for reasons, to get in the army and stuff like that. She's pretty useless until she becomes a woman. So that's, you take from that what you will. But yeah, she's pretty useless as Ping at the start of this run. Alright, so I got to my level up on Valor. You see on the left there, I got to level 2. That's all I needed to do with Valor Form there. So now I switch out and use a bunch of fires to kill these shadows as quickly as I can. And then then at the end, one of these guys spawns at the top, and just do a combo, and he's dead. There's a couple things about these missions that I'm doing right now. You do 3 of these. In the top left, you're going to see the amount of Heartless I still need to kill. Actually, I don't think you get that in this specific mission, but you do in the rest. You're also going to see a morale bar fill up with yellow. That depletes as you do the level. And these little pink orbs on the ground refill your morale. But when you're a speedrunner and you're doing these fights really quickly, you don't have to worry about that bar at all. Like, it's never going to get towards the bottom. Unless maybe you're at a higher difficulty and you're taking your time, so that won't be an issue for me. Say that I'm going to die to it like 6 times or something. Okay, that was weird, but it worked. I feel like my combo got stopped halfway through there for some reason. I have no idea where that happened, but hey, it happened. And now we have the final section. I think that I'd say the main. Oh, there's a snipe here right at the start with blizzards. I didn't get it. Cool. I need to walk a bit further forward, I think, for that. Yeah, in this section, the main goal here is to get your drive bar in the bottom right up to 3, so that you can start using drive forms again when you leave this fight. And because your drive bar goes up more when you've used all your magic up, I'm going to try and use as much of my magic up as I can as quickly as possible. I got some really bad spawns there for the enemies. Okay, cool, so I should easily hit level 3 here. And then I'm going to use drive on the last enemy here. I keep forgetting that the load times for entering the drive form are non-existent as well. In the original KS2, it took a good couple seconds to go into the drive form, but it's instant in this game, so I gotta remember that. Or I'm just gonna be like standing there waiting for it when it's not even happening. Right, this one is the start of this is kind of tricky. So the idea is to kill these as quick as you can, and then get through here. And then the same for the next rock, basically.
It's over.
Like, it is possible to just push the boulder and to get through it without even touching the enemies. But you have to hope that your party members are like hitting them and distracting them. They always go for you if you're breaking the rocks open, so yeah, it's way easier, safer, and you also get experience if you just kill the enemies before doing the rocks. So we just had to clear the path, make our way to this village. In the bottom right, you can see my drive gauge going down. So I've still got a whole bar of it left before it goes down to 0. And when it does that, I'll lose my drive form, and it takes quite a while to build it back up. So the idea is I entered this fight when I was still in drive form, and it like kicked me out of the form because they don't want me to be in the form in this fight. So my drive gauge is all the way back up to 3 again. So we abused that quite a few times throughout the run to make sure we've still got a full drive gauge going into certain fights. Also, whenever you warp out from a save point and then warp back in, your drive gauge is restored as well, so that's used once or twice. Alright, so bait these attacks out, do 2 combos. Another pretty solid fight. And having our drive is really important. As you can see straight away, we're going back into it for movement, so it really is key to get as many like opportunities you have to abuse that drive refill system as possible. I'm gonna grab this AP boost at the back of the summit. I'm not sure if I have to, but I'm just gonna get as many as I can. Make sure that I can equip all the abilities I need to throughout the run. Okay, this fight, you can see in the top left there's a little Heartless counter, so feel free to guess at home how many I'm gonna get. I'm gonna go for maybe 83. I'm feeling an 80 today. Yeah, the idea of this fight is there's just obviously a bunch of enemies, and I think you're just sort of distracting them so that your friends can get off the map summit or something like that. There are so many enemies though that I feel like they're not all going to target you at once, but hey, who am I to discuss? story matters in the middle of a speed run. I'm going to try and get this reaction command that pops up, the speed trap, as often as I can, because it can take out a good chunk of enemies sometimes. I've been getting hit a lot, these guys are ferocious. But the goal for this fight is to get maybe around 70 Heartless, something like that. I haven't even looked at how many I've got yet or what the timer is, but I'm sure I did okay. Oh, 93. Cool. So if he gets 93 at home, you just won £300. You really haven't. What do I do here? Okay, party, Milan, item, Sora. Okay. So in that menu, I changed Mulan to party attack, like I did with Donald and Goofy earlier, so they focus on different enemies instead of the one that I'm focused on. And there's a specific reason for that that I'll mention during the final boss of this world. I think, yeah, this is faster. There's a save warp here, which wasn't possible in the original KH2 because loading times were like 10 times worse than that. But this is faster than walking all the way back down the mountain again. There's a little trick I can do here, see if I get it. Cool, alright. Just a bit of movement to go nice and fast through that. There's a couple points throughout the run where you get damage boosts off of the enemies.
Let's do this together.
Right, so I'm going to use Mulan's Limit here. It's a really powerful, should knock out everything in the courtyard. I'm doing this instead of using my Valor Form. Valor Form technically gives you a faster fight, but it's way less consistent. And I also want as much Valor Form as I can get for the final boss. Which I can go through it now for movement as well. Okay, so this final boss fight, the reason it's important to have Mulan on party attack, so that she hits other enemies that I'm not targeting, is that she's going to hit these little enemies that you'll see appear. So she's going to hit these little enemies, and as you can see in the top left, the gate has a health bar, and if the health of the gate goes all the way down, then you lose, you die, and restart the fight. So yeah, it's really important that Mulan does her job here. Right, wait for this, and guard it. Oh, you can't guard in Valor, I see. But I'm not used to doing this fight inside Valor Form. Like the second part anyway. Right here, I'm just going to try and get a few combos in. And that's Land of Dragons done. So we're a good few worlds in now. Shan Yu has been vanquished. The Emperor gives me sweets or something, maybe fireworks, as a gift, and then we head on to the next world. I guess during this next gummy mission there is something I can do. You're going to see a big old ship, big old heartless ship in the middle of the airways, and I can kill the ship. It's very difficult, but I can kill the ship if I try really hard, so I'm going to give that a go, see if I can kill it. Most of these gummy missions, if you do really well, you unlock a gummy ship afterwards, a new blueprint for a gummy ship. But funnily enough, in this specific gummy mission, if you do really well, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and kill the ship. Also, this is one of the 2 or 3 dangerous gummy missions where it's actually possible to die, even if you're like paying attention. So killing the ship is a good idea for those reasons as well. Less likely for me to die. Alright, so I focus on the wheels when they pop up. Like, if I just attack the ship like this, nothing's gonna happen. So I want to be like attacking the parts of the ship, like the mast over there, and this wheel I want to focus on now. Let's see if I can sink the ship. I haven't done this since I played casually about 10 years ago, so we'll see how it goes. I just know it's possible. So the real danger in this gummy mission and why people die sometimes is these cannons that shoot at you. So you want to target those like pretty much first and foremost and kill them. It means that my attention has to be away from like killing the ship for a bit, but that shouldn't matter too much. Also killing these 2 cannons in the middle breaks the mast, I think. Yeah, so you need to do that to break the ship as well. You need to break all the parts of the ship before it collapses. I feel like this is one of the hardest parts of the ship to do, this war, but I got there pretty early and managed to get it. Take out these cannons. I'm pretty sure these guys don't need to die to blow up the ship, but I may as well anyway, so I don't take the damage. I'm just trying to work out what to aim for next. I don't think there's much else. There's like another couple wheels on that side that I'm going over to in a minute, and then kill the mouth of the ship too. Alright, so really focus on these because you speed up a little bit on your side scrolling here, so... Oh no! Okay, I just managed to hold X there to like do a hold on, lock on missile, and it managed to kill it, so... Right now I really need to damage this face. By the way, the run's not gonna die if I don't do this. It's just like... It doesn't save me any time, it's just fun. I'm trying to kill the ship. So just basically, just mash X as hard as I can to shoot at this thing. If these things grab onto me, then I can press circle to spin them into the ship. I'm not sure if that does more damage than just shooting, but it might. Maybe that should be my focus here. I've got a little bit more time. Okay, cool. I killed the ship. And I get a gravity G, which is like a... it does a thing, but we snap the ship in half. And that's how to cover like 4 minutes of downtime and just making up things to do. Unfortunately, I can't really do that for the rest of the Gummy missions, but I'll give it a shot. And now we're approaching what is most likely most runners' least favourite world. You hear me mashing triangle there for the people at home? So this is probably people's least favourite world in the speedrun, because there's a lot of like randomness that can occur throughout, like the enemies and their patterns and stuff like that. It can be quite difficult to deal with. So we pick up Meg, not in the way that you'd want to, and we head down here to the next section of the game. Gonna do a little bit of a boost here using a slide dash into an enemy again, just to make up some distance. Bit of movement tech. Tell you what, out of all the games I've played in my life, this game has the most like validating cutscene skips. They just feel really good to pull off. It's really fast. Alright, so there's a damage boost here if I jump at the right time. Okay, cool. That was really, really good. A guy called Ricky invented that trick about 6 years ago. This game is so old. The original KS2 anyway, but there are so many things that are applicable to this remake. Or improved version. If you notice the big purpley blob in that previous room that I walked past, that's a really, really tough boss fight, and it's optional. So thankfully I don't have to go through that. We'll probably add about 2 hours to the estimate. Cool, got the damage boost there. Sometimes you won't get that because of, I don't know, your location on the hill, something like that.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, good. Usually that takes a little bit longer to pull off, so I'm glad that happened. Abilities, aura, divider, and auto limit I want off. Cool. No menus for a while now.
That's it.
Right, this is Hades' escape. We're escaping Hades, as you might have guessed already. Although, not doing too well at the moment, escaping him. So he's over there, big meanie, he's going to be throwing these fireballs at us. He teleports right next to you, punches you, throw these fireballs, stuff like that. You want him as far away from you as possible at all points, so he's probably going to teleport right next to me now, just for fun. Yeah, there we go. So he's going to hit me here, but I managed to get that last fire off to stagger the enemies for a bit, so that's really, really useful. So I can kill these enemies really quickly. Onto the next platform. So if he teleports you and punches you there before you even get a fire off, you can be in that section for like another 30 seconds, honestly. You can be really, really difficult. So that's why I talk about this section as possibly some people's least favorite world, because of the amount of random things that can happen. Also, you can't touch Hades, you can't do damage to him, but you can lock on. So occasionally I'll lock onto him by accident when I really don't want to, and that can mess up the fight as well. So there's a lot of things to juggle, a lot of things to think about when you're doing this one. Everything's nearly dead now, so this finisher should kill everything. And it's pretty much as good a Hades escape as I'm going to get there. That was really, really solid, so happy that happened. Again, I'm used to there being more loading times because I played the original KS2, so I can't even scratch my neck in between cutscenes. Right, I'm gonna take the right path here. For anyone who's actually in the KH community, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for taking the right path. I came up with the left path strat. So basically, you just take the left path inside this tunnel instead of picking up those 2 items. And then we find like substitutes for those items later. I'm gonna pick up those items because I'm not sure on the latter half of the run that I'm gonna be that good. So I'm gonna need those extra ability points possibly, and the extra ethers to replenish my magic later on. So I'm gonna pick up basically every AP boost I can. You pick up most of them anyway, even at top level, but I'll be getting some extras if I see them. Alright, this Cerberus fight, the 3-headed dog, you know, Greek mythology, all that. The idea here is to get 3 hits off, and that is fire, not blizzard. Basically, when it gives you the opportunity here to hit him, you hit him. When I get his health down another half a bar nearly, he's going to start doing a move where he shoots orbs at me. Probably about now, yeah. So I get to use Bushido right here. So this limit, just smashing X and triangle, stuff like that, nothing special. And then I want to stop it because the finisher takes ages, and I need to catch this right here. So if you're attacking in the middle of that swing, he throws you into this move, and I can just mash triangle to win for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And now he's down for the count, and I can just wail on him until he's dead. If I can kill him. Nice, okay, that was really close to not killing him, but he just would have jumped and it would have taken another 5 seconds or so to get there. Also, a really small thing to mention that I haven't done yet because it's kind of pedantic, but you see in the bottom left, like switching between the 2 little columns. So, you know, if I want to use magic through the menu instead of customize, then I can use magic there, stuff like that. Drive is on this one, limit is on that one. So sometimes at the end of fights when I'm doing combos, I'll just switch to whichever one I need next. Sorry, I feel like I've got a bit of a cold coming on, to be honest. Losing my voice a bit, but the show must go on. Yeah, so I'll switch between the limits and drive menus, just, you know, if I know that I need to use a drive in about 10 minutes from now, I can switch now and it'll still be there when I need it. So there's a lot of small micromanaging that you do throughout this run as well. So the goal of this is just to pick up 20 of the small orbs. It doesn't matter how many of the urns that you take out, so. In this section, you need to get 100 of those little yellow orbs, but thankfully, a couple of massive urns spawn later, and each of the orbs that come out of those give you 10 points towards that total. So the goal right here is just to kill all these small ones, as many as you can, to free up space on the stage for the big ones to spawn. That's the goal right now. I've probably killed enough already. It'll spawn in the next like 3 or 4 seconds. Yeah, so I hit this one into smaller urns, and as you can see, every orb is bigger and it gives you 10 points. So that's the goal of that fight. And again, I'm constantly checking in the bottom left to see if I'm on the right section, so I can just go to drive straight away when I go into this one. So we've only got a few more fights left in this world. This next bit is a big movement section, so just got a power boost from that chest. And as I said earlier, every strength point is really important, so we're going to be using that to get our strength up. Also, may as well get a puzzle piece, I guess. That's 1 out of 80. I believe there's 80. I'm also going to get this ether over here. Again, these are items that I don't pick up in the original Cage 2, but for this version of the game, I think you need more ethers in this version of the game, but also just help me out later if I mess something up, then I'll have another ether to use to get my magic back. So yeah, ethers are very, very important to this run, and generally you pick up all the ones that you can. This is an AP boost as well I'm going to get before this fight over here. Now we're fighting some Spanish guy. He's not actually Spanish, but he plays guitar, so basically, right? And the idea for this is that if I hit these enemies once, they turn into little music notes, like little guitars. So I can do the reaction command with them, Wild Dance, which is really powerful, and should hopefully kill like 6 to 10 in one go. That's the goal, I guess. I want to be as close to Demix as possible because this is where he spawns the new ones. So I want to try and keep towards the middle and centralize, but that can be difficult to do. I mean, when I'm pressing triangle here, it's just completely random where these guys get thrown, so you don't really have much control. This is one of my least favorite fights, because there's nothing you can do really to ensure it goes fast. What I can do is use magic, and that will kill them all pretty quickly, so yeah. Sometimes throughout the fight you want to use fire magic, but for the most part, especially if you're far away from Demix in the middle, you want to just spam the reaction commands. So I'm going to get this AP boost here. And there is a menu I think I do. Power boost, AP boosts, and aerial dive. Got it. Cool. Considering I haven't looked at these menus for 8 months, they're not going that badly. So the power boost, obviously, the AP boost as well, like just added stat points, which is always a good thing. I could give them to party members, but it's not Christmas. Plus they're generally pretty useless throughout the game, so you want to focus on yourself and building up your strength, obviously. So I have Valor Form here. You might have noticed at some points during this world there's been chains wrapped around the drive gauge in the bottom right, which meant that I couldn't use my Valor Form. Thankfully that's lifted at this point, because something, becoming a hero, something like that. I had a chance to show off the reaction command, but for these enemies that I didn't get to earlier, but it's fine. And yeah, he does have health, as you can see, but it doesn't really matter how much damage you do to him. This is a completely timed fight. Like, I could do nothing and end it at the same time, but I wanted to kill those enemies for experience and stuff like that. Right at the start of this fight, I'm going to slide dash it into P and use Valor Form. Okay, so sometimes it can pinball, which completely ruins the fight. But if I can get that cry... Oh, he pinballed again? Okay, cool. We're having one of those fights today. Alright, so right now I'm going to try and chain him with air combos the whole time. Okay, so that finished pretty clean in the end, but he pinballed twice right at the start. There's not a lot you can do about that, really. Alright, so we just got Trinity Limit, which is one of the most overpowered limits in the game. It's really, really useful, so I'm going to put that on immediately, and you'll get to see what it can do in the next fight. God, Trinity. Also again, in the bottom left, I cycled to the limit page instead of the drive page. Again, just like small details, so I can immediately limit when this fight starts before his tail hits me. So you do an X part, a square part, and a triangle part. You don't have to do all of them. So after I press the X part, I could have pressed X again, and it would have done this final finisher. But the idea is that the X, square, and triangle parts do a bit of damage each, or they hit enemies a certain amount of times. And the more hits you get, the more damage your final like explosion does at the end. So you're gonna see that a few times. I'm gonna try and rack up hits with the first 3 and then do loads of damage at the end, hopefully. So I got up on the Hydra's back and did that move. Now just killing these heads off. We used an ether to get my magic back, so I can just use Trinity again, because Trinity takes up your whole magic bar. Go straight onto Trinity, wait for his head to pop up, and back now. So that's the X part. I'm gonna go down a bit so the square part hits more, and then I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully I should do a lot of damage. Did a lot of damage and the finisher hit, so I actually have a chance of ending this quickly, which is really cool. No, this one, no. Come on. No! Ah. Whatever. So, yeah, you can end that fight with those combos, and I should have been able to, but I got hit by the shadowy orbs a couple times, I got unlucky, but that's fine. I very rarely get that strat, by the way, so... But it does save a good 15-20 seconds if you get it, it's pretty crazy. Right, so he's over here, final hit, and that's Olympus Coliseum done. So we're roughly a third through the run already. There's a lot of build up at the start, and this world is, I think, the longest world by far, like discounting the final one and all the final boss fights, so we are getting there. And now we our gummy ship just randomly decides to go back to Hollow Bastion. It gets summoned there by a wizard. Take from that what you will. And now we're in Hollow Bastion, we get to talk to Pooh, which is always great. Winnie the Pooh Bear in his house over here, sipping on some honey. So we're gonna say hi to him. Alright, this next fight, the goal here is to kill about 3 enemies or something like that. Oh, this is the reaction command, by the way, so there we go. I showed it off once. It's kind of cool. I accidentally went Valor Form. Is that gonna matter? Is that gonna matter? So every time you go in, it's a good chance for me to explain something. Every time you go into a drive form, you get like 1 counter, I guess, to put it in board game terms. So I just got, like, my counter just went up by 1 for using the Valor form. When your count gets to 5, you have a chance of going anti-form, or anti-form. I'm American with some of my language, but yeah, you have a chance to go into a different form completely, and it's not a good form. Like, you really don't want to go into it, so that's going to mean I might have to do some strats different later. Basically just use Valor form 1 less time later on in a fight, and I'll be fine. My counter will be back to normal, so it won't be an issue. It's just I might lose a little bit of time to not using Valor somewhere. I'm going to try and think of when's the best place to do that, and go from there. You know, there's a place to do that where I won't lose that much time, but I'll also be missing showing off like a really, really cool strat. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lose 20 seconds instead of losing 10 seconds, and then show off a really cool fight instead. So I'm going to do that. Again, gummy mission. Not much going on here. I guess I'll aim for a certain amount of points. Let's try 20,420 for no reason whatsoever. I really don't want to kill this guy because it'll give me a lot of points. Oh, this guy's moves, by the way, fairly easy to dodge. That's always fun to do. Oh, I got points from that. Well, oh well. I got more than 20,420. So the next world that I have to do has quite a few interesting little things in it. It's one of my favorite worlds in the game. All the fights I feel are really, really technical. There's only 4 fights in the entire world, and they're all really consistent. So they're really, really cool fights. I'm trying to get like a funny number or something, but it's not really happening. Just stopping every now and then to see what number I have. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with that because 4:01:44 is actually a time that I got in the original KH2 English. Oh well, now it's not. It's 46 now. Thanks, evil gummy ship guy. But I got a 4:01:44 in the original KH2 English, so I thought I'd stick on that. Now 146. Somebody's probably got a 4:01:46 in that game. So that one was for you. You're welcome. If you listen carefully at home, you might hear me mashing triangle again, because I know you love it so much. By the way, that's the treasure list at the top right of the screen. If you press triangle there, you get to see what treasure you collected during the gummy mission. But if you mash it, the screen pops it in and out. And for some reason, after the screen loads out, it still does it. So. This fight, I'm going to want to go to Trinity straight away, do the square part, and then just end it straight away. So this fight ends, similar to early on when I was in the Roxas section, that fight ends depending on how many hits you do and things like that. So yeah, this is one section where I would usually go into Valor form, but I'm not going to because I want to show off a really cool strat with Valor later, and I can't risk getting all the anti-points. Because if I go into that other form, it's going to be a nightmare. This is a really big movement section, but I'll just take it nice and slow today. Hey, how you doing? Normally I don't get enough time to appreciate the design of that boss, so that enemy. I've said all this and I've taken all that time, not in Valor there. I'm probably going to mess up the fight strat. So I'm going to start explaining it now. If anyone's played this game casually before, in this, through this door, is a big enemy attached to a door called a thresholder. And what you're meant to do is knock his health down to 0, and then this little orb called the Possessor gets released. And when you get it down to half health, it goes back inside the door, and then you have to go again, you have to do another cycle. So the strat I'm going to be trying to pull off is called one cycle, which does what it says on the tin, really. So I'm going to go with Valor straight away. So if you do a specific combo here with Valor form on the orb when it gets released, you should be able to kill it before it goes back into the door. So if I don't get hit, I should be able to do this. So let's hope that happens. I got hit, that's a good start. Okay, cool. So I got the one cycle. And again, that would have taken like double the time to complete that fight if I messed this up. And also, I would have lost my drive in the bottom right. And if you don't have your drive for later on this world, then the fights become a lot slower too. So that fight's quite risky to pull off, especially for a marathon run. But you know what, the first half of this run I feel so good and confident with that I want to get out as much of my like really good strats as possible. And then you guys can like go to sleep for the last 2 hours. Nobody has to watch it, don't worry about it. We're gonna just ignore it happen and just be like, wow, this is a really good start, well done. That's the goal of this run. I'm gonna touch my phone in a minute to make sure the notes don't deload. This is just a little mini game. So again, between the 3 fights in this world, there's just a bunch of little mini games you can do. So again, a really consistent world. I'm a big fan. Also, you saw me use a thunder right after I did that lantern reaction command. You can just do a spell there or swing your keyblade, stuff like that. Just have fun with it. Grab this AP boost on the left and Cool, okay, so I'm 46 experience from the next level, which is really, really useful. I didn't know how much experience I was to the next level, so I was a little bit worried. I was going to be here for a while, but there we go, already the next level. I need to be at this level for the final fights in this world to go smoothly. But that went pretty quick. I've been there with 150 experience needed to get to the next level before, and that can be really difficult to achieve, so I'm glad that happened. Also, I want to hit level 3 here, ideally. Maybe I hit it earlier during Threshold, I can't remember. It's fine if I didn't, but that's fine. I want to swap Donald for Goofy. Take off Ferocious Rush and Howling Moon. Okay. This is another save warp because you're going, oh, well, I'm not going here. But the loading is so quick that this isn't a time loss. Yeah, again, like walking from one side of the castle to the other to here would obviously be really, really slow, so you don't do that. Usually I would go Valor Form here, but I'm not sure if I hit level 3 or not, so I'm going to be cautious and use it here instead. Yeah, okay, so the number in the bottom right for the drive gauge is always 2 higher than what your level is. So I am on level 2. As you can see, I've got 4 as the number in the bottom. I walked backwards right at the start of this fight, and that meant that this guy did a certain moveset that I want him to do that's quickest. Ah, damn it. Okay. Missed down a bit of damage on him, so might have to do a little bit extra in this fight to finish him off. Yeah, that's fine. I did get my level 3 though. If I finish this in Valor, it would be really good. Oh well. Okay. Alright, so in this fight, usually I would have Valor Form from the previous fight, but I've got to play it slightly differently now because I don't. So I'm going to do a couple combos here, get down to about 1 bar of health, and then I'm going to use Trinity when he does this move. And hopefully, after this I can do one... Oh, I killed him with the Trinity. Cool. So he's dead. He was about to do a move where he just like flies around the arena for ages, and it's really, really difficult to get a finisher off on him, so that would have taken him up a bit of time. So that didn't happen. Alright, you may notice I skipped that cutscene in the black. You have about 0.3 of a second to do that, so I managed to time that perfectly. If I take small breaks in commentating from now on, then that's because my voice feels like it's gonna die, so just letting you guys know. Again, using Valor Form as a bit of movement here. There's an AP boost over here. I don't know if I need to grab it. I probably don't, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And now that I'm level 3, I jump higher with Valor Form. So that'll be useful in quite a few places later on for slightly faster movement. Okay, in this next section, there's a thing I can do where I basically push Minnie up the backside, up the entire hallway. I guess I'm gonna try it, because why not? If there's a place to try it, it's here, right? So I'm gonna try and get her to the left. Nudge her there, and see if I can push her a little way. Shit, it's really, really finicky, so you wanna push her against the wall. I'm just, like, I know this is slower than if I just did it normally, but this is fun, right? I'm gonna try my best to push her against the wall. Alright, we're getting some. Oh my god, this is the furthest I've ever got. What the hell? Okay, I got right to the end. I have tried that multiple times, on multiple occasions. It's in the original case too as well that I had world records in and stuff like that. And I could never do that strategy. I never did it in runs. And I just did it. That's the first time I've ever done that, like, slightly well. Thank you.
This way.
I'm glad you enjoyed pushing Mini up the backside. You should have seen the view from here.
Let's go.
Right, so in this fight, again, Mini's Faith RC is going to be used quite a lot. Well, I suppose I didn't use it in the last fight like I usually would because I just pushed her, but yeah, it's really, really strong RC. Knocks all the bolt towers back. When I was a kid, I thought I had to kill all these. I had no idea what the escort part of the mission was. So I killed every single enemy in this room. Probably took me about an hour. Had to pause it halfway through to get some juice. But yeah, you just escort and then use her move and you can get through this relatively quickly. A lot of small things can happen where the enemies can hit Mini if they manage to squeeze in before you use one of these moves, but generally you're fine and it's pretty clean. Like this, I had to walk backwards a bit earlier to use the RC because I knew that that guy was going to slam onto the ground.
Let's go.
I need to check my money actually. I need in-game money. Real life I'm fine, but 622, okay. So I need to get 18 more money. I think I get them in some of the next fights, but I'm not sure. Okay, well regardless, I'll get 18 money at some point. They are for strength rings that I can buy in the shop menu, so I'm gonna get some money and then equip those when I can. Oh, I can go into Valor form here for movement.
What that for?
This fight's pretty fun. And he's dead. There's a lot of small fights like that that take a good 5 seconds or so. I feel like a lot of them are just introductory fights. So like, oh, this boss exists, by the way, you know? So, yeah. I'm in this window first. I think this is the best one to do first. And this is the first instance of Chicken Little that we're going to see in the run. Chicken Little has this thing where most of the time he'll whistle the enemies in towards you and then you can just kill them with usually I'm going to use fire when he pulls them in for like area of effect attacks, stuff like that. This is going ridiculously well. Okay, one last enemy. Cool. So Chicken Little is obviously really useful. The Mayhem bar in the top left, if that gets filled to the top, then you die, you lose the fight. I was nowhere near that. Like it didn't even get a single tick of damage because Chicken Little just pulled them in the entire fight, so it's really, really useful. Alright, clear these out and use Chicken Little again. Oh, it cancelled the end of the fire there. Interesting. I played this game for like 7 years, speedrun it for 7 years, and I never knew that was a thing, so that's cool. So the idea here is for Chicken Little to call these in all the time. If it goes wrong, then these cars are really, really hard to deal with, so yeah, I really want him to whistle these in. Like now would be great, thank you. And one more, cool, alright. So they can do a move there that takes ages to get through. They dart from side to side, which is really annoying casually, especially on the higher difficulties. It's hard to deal with, but yeah. My guy, Chicken Little, has me all the way. Okay, this one's relatively simple. You get a few enemies there, and then another wave spawns, and I've got to clear these guys. Use fire on the shadows. There's a lot going on the screen, so it's often hard to see what's happening. Right, and now I use Trinity. I try and point it in the wall to get as less hits as possible, because you don't even need any hits here to end this fight, and the hit total like racks up to the amount of hits you get before it kills them. So I want to get as few hits as possible. I haven't done this one yet. I need to equip Reaction Boost, or do I? Yes, I got AP Boost, okay. It's like that. I don't have room for Reaction Boost, but that's fine. Also, I have 770 money, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those rings now that I talked about earlier. That I should have bought at the start. Tourmaline, I want 2. Thank you very much. And I will equip those now. Cool. And we'll do the final window. Trying to work out what the strat is for this window. Oh, definitely Chicken Little at the start because these guys are really annoying. So that's the first port call. Use fire on these guys. Whistle in again, please. Thank you. I feel like I want to dismiss and then use these. So using these triangle commands in the air, take out as many as I can. There's one left and then there's more hammers that spawn. I really want to get them with one of these, but oh, cool, I did. If I didn't manage to get them on right at the end of that move, then they would have gone back to the ground and I would have had to have like used fire on them to kill them, which would have been really difficult to do. Oh, I can use the drive recovery here?
You bugs couldn't follow me if you wanted to. Later, loser.
Okay, this is Boat Pete,
Later.
or he's so affectionately named in my splits for this game.
You bugs.
I'm going to grab this AP boost. Again, not sure how many I need, but I'm going to grab it. Alright, so in Valorform, even though you can only see one Keyblade hitting this thing, Valorform has 2 Keyblades equipped, which change the damage output you do. So even though I'm not hitting him with 2 Keyblades, I still do twice the damage. Cool, that was good. If I accidentally get thrown off of that hook, that can take a good 15 seconds extra time. But also I won't have Valorform for this little bit of movement to get to the next fight. And now we have normal Pete. So we fought Boat Pete, we fought old Pete right at the start, and now we get normal Pete. He's grumpy. I think he's canonically always grumpy. Gonna use Blizzard here to finish him off. Okay, cool. Right, so for this screen I'm gonna want to use a limit. Just use one part of the Trinity, this should kill him. For some reason, when you use Trinity on this guy, on these screens, it's not really to do with the hits that you deal on him. It just magically kills him, so that's good. Yeah, obviously we're getting all these screen transitions to the next part of the fight after you do one part. Air combos tend to make him retaliate a bit earlier than ground combos, so I'm going to try to avoid them if possible, but I'll get in a few, especially if he's already doing a move. Like right here, he's already doing a move, so I'll go over the top to avoid the shot blast. And this is the final section, and all I got to do here is tap him once, walk away a little bit, and then press triangle twice, and he should die. If I get the triangle command to pop up, there we go. So that's Pete, gone. Dead and dusted. I'd like to say he shows up later, but he doesn't. We are now done with Pete. He shows up as a lion, but not in this speedrun. Unfortunately, we don't get to go to Pride Lands. It's fine, if you want to see a lifelike version of Pride Lands, then I'm sure it's still out in the cinema, if that's your cup of tea. And at the end of the world, because you know what, I'm going to take this bit slowly, speak slower, because we've got another gummy mission. And this one, I can put the controller down. Like, I really don't have to do anything. Yeah, if there was someone right next to me, then I give the controllers to them, give them a go. But at the end of that world, I got Wisdom Form. Now, Wisdom Form isn't really going to be used for combat. It's pretty useless when it comes to combat. But what it does have is some good movement, so a lot of the time when I'm doing the movement sections now, I can use Wisdom instead of Valor Form, so I might do that a few times. Yeah, but whenever you gain a new drive form, it resets your anti-points to 0. So no matter what I've done up to this point, if I used Valor Form 20 times, my counter would still be at 0 after I get that form, so it's sort of like a reset in the middle of the run, you know? If you mess up and have too many points, then as soon as you hit that new drive form, you're fine. Absolutely fine. So that's some wisdom for you all. This gummy mission, I don't really know what to do in it. What sort of goal should I set myself here? Let's try for 420,069 points. I'm gonna go for that. See how close we get. Probably way far away. I killed that guy? Okay. Cool. Have a look at my notes. Get the next menu going. Okay, next menu, simple. Right, I really need to start getting points. We're a little bit low for 420,000. At least I got the 9 at the end from taking all the damage. So that's one digit that's always going to be correct. I'm so happy the first half of this run has been like pretty clean, because it'll make up for the second half. Alright, yeah, 420,000 is definitely happening. This is the point where I should probably be careful. Oh, that was close. So now I basically want to hit one enemy with like a couple bullets, 2 bullets, something like that. So that's going to be tough. Oh, this is one enemy. 402.19. 402.59. There's no way up. There's no way. I got it. I got it. That's hard to do. So I got it. Cool. Oh, hold on. Alright, it's not the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me, but that was 402.69, not 420.69. But we're gonna say I got it, because I was so into it. I tried my hardest, okay? Okay. Right, this first fight, I'm gonna want to summon Chicken Little here. Actually, I'm just gonna Blizzard this fight. When the next fight starts, I'll summon, please end. Okay, cool. So those guys, it's basically showing you that when the moonlight is out, the soldiers, you can't touch these guys. Basically like the film Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm sure most of you have seen it. Oh no, Donald hit him with thunder. Okay. So yeah, I was meant to summon Chicken Little a little bit earlier, which means Donald wouldn't have been out and he wouldn't have been able to thunder these guys and stagger them. But it's fine. We're getting through the fight. Cool. So that's the gimmick of this world with the pirates. Sometimes you can hit them, sometimes you can't, and you have to be careful. Right, fire's on triangle, thunder's on square. I always get confused with these. So Chicken Little's out straight away, so he'll be whistling these guys in. The first lot is 2 fires. Next one is 2 fires again. This one, if you whistle please, thank you. 2 fires and then a finisher, so that's good. I get confused with which button the different spells are on in the customized menu and stuff like that, because the original KH2, they put different buttons for different spells for some reason, so they made it way more confusing for me personally. Right, this menu, I'm going to swap Donald for Goofy, and I'm going to put Donald on Soar Attack. And that's basically to avoid him using Thunder on the pirates. And like, if you use Thunder on the pirates, then they stay still, they don't get staggered, stuff like that, so they're really annoying to deal with. Okay, cool. I forgot that fire was a thing for some reason. Yeah, and if you use fire, they get burnt, and they just run around the arena on fire. So that's really not helpful either. Defend yourself for 1 minute. Yeah, so there's not much to this fight, really. I'm gonna summon Chicken Little so I can whistle these guys in, but aside from that, there isn't a lot to this fight. I think I want to try and get level the next level up on my summons from Chicken Little here. And you get a point of level up every time that the bar in the bottom right goes down or up. So the goal right here is to get down to the bottom of 3 and then just stagger them on that part of the bar for a while, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. I'm gonna try it. I think that's more important than just normal experience right now, so okay, yeah, we're down to 2. Hopefully I can hit multiple with this, go back up to 3. Yeah, cool. Back down, back up, down, up, down. Let's summon level 2, cool. So, I actually need a lot of experience. If I knew I had that much experience to go, I wouldn't have attempted that. But, I actually managed to get it. Pretty cool. So this fight I'm not gonna do. It takes quite a long time to do, and escaping under the ship is way faster, so we just do that. And now we have my favorite fight in the whole game. You gotta protect the medallion. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here, using a mixture of spells and stuff like that. Oh, I wanna use Chicken Little, don't I? Yeah. Cool. So bring this guy out. Wait for him to whistle. And we're all pumped together, I can use magic and hopefully hit like more than one. Right, now these 2 spawn, I'm gonna go up to the top here, because there's another one at the top to collect. The medallion being away from me shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't. Usually an enemy picks it up and I can just get it off him when I kill him. No enemy picks it up though. Oh yeah, he did. So I can just get it off him here, it's fine. And again, use some more magic. Alright, my magic's about to run out. So I'm going to use an ether here. Are you... You're not in the shadows yet, but you're about to be. It's close. Okay, yeah, you're sort of in the shadows. So I'm gonna try to get away from the shadows here. Or just stay right here. Okay, cool. And now these guys. No chicken up here. There's one more enemy. Cool. Alright. The key thing there is that I don't lose Chicken Little. And I don't lose, like, he doesn't go down to 0. Because as I said before, if you end the fight in a dry form or a summon or something like that, generally it kicks you out of that summon and dry form. And you get your drive gauge back. So that was really important that I got that. I was pressing triangle. But okay. I think one of the enemies was hitting me a bit there. This section can be very weird. I'm not sure when's the best time to use Valor Form. Right at the start, I guess, is technically the fastest, but you can get hit so many times throughout that fight that I usually play it safe and go Valor Form towards the end of it. You know, it's one of the most calming things doing this run without a timer and having like no knowledge of just how well it's going, you know? So I don't have to sit there and worry like, oh no, this run is awful or anything like that. Just say have a good time. So again, 2 more AP boosts, generally pretty useful throughout the run. And I've got 3 drive bars left for this fight, which is pretty good. So I can get a good amount of damage in at the start. Okay, so right at the start there's this enemy on the wall that lights up, just managed to catch him there. And then I can go to town on Barbosa. I want to do 2 combos, and then get out of Valor Form and freeze him. Cool, so the goal here is to just keep him frozen for the entire fight now. So I'm going to wait till it gets unfrozen, and then do it again, and then that's what this fight's about. And I kept him frozen the entire time, and he's dead. So that was a really, really solid fight. Another world down. Or bites the dust, or something. We got a Keyblade. I was about to say it's useless, but we do actually use it. So I take that back, Keyblade. And now we have a gummy mission that's actually sort of difficult. There's a good, not a good chance, but there is a chance to die towards the end of it, so a little bit of focus time. If everyone in the entire venue could be quiet. No, that's definitely not happening. Okay. But, yeah, so hopefully I don't die. That's the goal. If I kill these enemies, the little green orbs that come out of them, you've probably noticed by now, give you health. Like, they're little medic symbols, so I'll be getting those throughout this level just to make sure I'm topped up on health. If I have less than half health when the final boss comes in, that's when I start panicking. So it shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen. Also, the whole score system goes out the window here. I'm not going to go for a specific score. Would be cool to amend myself though and actually get 420.69. But maybe in the next one. Next one's pretty damn easy. Also, this is a really cool enemy, and the music for this is really cool as well. Sadly, I can't hear it, but I hope you guys enjoy the music for the gummy missions, because they're pretty special. Still at basically full health. I'm not perfectly full health, which is annoying me a little bit, so I'm going to try and get that to full. Oh, it's not happening. That's fine. Thankfully, there are 2 gummy missions with this exact same music, so we get to hear it all over again. It's actually possible to get to the final boss of this section without taking damage once, so you can dodge like all of these attacks, but it's pretty difficult. This is the final boss. Now, yeah, I'm just going to try my best to avoid his attack. I'm not going to worry about trying to kill him. Like, it's one of those things where if I try to kill him and try to avoid all his attacks, there's a chance that I'll mess up both, you know, because I'm trying to, like, multitask. But if I just focus on avoiding his attacks, then I should be fine. So I want to go right in the middle, or as close as I can for that attack. So I avoided pretty much all of his attacks there, and he did a decent amount of damage. If he hits me a lot here, then I could still die, potentially, but I should be okay. Stay in the middle. Okay, cool, he didn't hit me. Alright. So that can get dangerous, but thankfully I was fine that time. The dangerous part is if you enter that fight with less than half health because you weren't paying attention, and you're like, oh damn, this might be a bad thing. I mashed triangle really hardly that time, just for you. There is a menu, a big one, coming up, so I'm gonna get that prepped and ready. And take a look at it every now and then. Okay, this very first one, I want to use Trinity here. Do the square part, do the X part. The X part needs to hit multiple enemies for this to end early, so I'm not going to end it early, but this is still fine. Oh. I've just realized there's a different strat for that fight in this game. They're slightly quicker that they do. I completely forgot to do that different strat because I play KH2 English on the PlayStation 2, but the strat still worked, so we're good. This menu is huge, so I will want Reflect on Circle, X, Aladdin on Sword Attack. I want Aladdin's Ethers off. I want to put on Item Boost. Aerial Spiral. Okay, guards. Aerial Spiral. Anything else? No? Lovely. Okay. So it's not that long a menu. Oh, we go for Wisdom Form experience here. Okay, this will be fun. I haven't done this in a very long time. I completely forgot this was a thing. So I get Wisdom Form experience here to hit level 3 Wisdom by the end of this world. So I'm going to be doing that for a little bit. Alright, so I killed as many enemies as I could there before my drive was going to run out. So now it's back up to full because I entered like a cutscene or an area where my party members were walking around.
Let's go.
Now Wisdom Form again. So again, using these reaction commands, try and kill these as quickly as possible. I want level 2 here, so I'm gonna kill a couple enemies when I enter here. Use the reflect to kill these guys. Okay, cool. So I got my level 2, and I'll be trying to get level 3 in one of the upcoming fights as well. The only thing it's really useful for is movement. If you get wisdom to level 3, your movement later on is way faster, so I could have done this run without it, but I may as well try and do everything that the run involves, even if I'm not as comfortable with it. This is a very interesting minigame. You press triangle, you walk forward a bit, and then you jump over a little tidal wave. Nothing special. So as time goes on throughout this run, as you're already starting to see, there's points where I'm going to be like, what do I do here? Like, there may be a few of those. This one, I bait that guy into attacking me and then reflect, kills all 4. Gonna do the same on this platform. And also reflect magic, because it kind of hits a few times. It really refills your drive gauge up. So you can see in the bottom right, it's already up to 2 when it was on 0. So I'm going to try and reflect this guy's attacks, get some combos in, stagger him. Okay, cool. I remember the strat for this guy. Lovely. Now this last section, there are 2 enemies. I want to kill the first one, and then I want to lock onto the second one and use Trinity here. Now you've seen me use Trinity, you've seen me use Group Trinity, which, I can lock on, that's fine. He'll come closer and then I can lock on again. There we go. Alright, cool. 45 is fine. So that's what solo Trinity does. Basically when you don't have Donald and Goofy with you, you'll do that when you go into Trinity. So this is the next part that, you know, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with. We're going to be going into Wisdom form again for this bit. It's a good thing I've watched a lot of this run. Going into Wisdom form, and there are lots of enemies to kill here. And every time you kill an enemy, you get an experience point. So that's what the goal is here. I killed every single enemy there? Alright, cool. Playing this game for 6 years and things still surprise me. So yeah, if I see one of these blue enemies jump, then I know it's about to attack me. The red ones, you just kind of have to predict. They don't have like a clear... Yeah, like right now, I don't know if any of them are going to attack me, but... There we go. I'm out of drive form, so I can just kill these off. I also want to switch out Aladdin here, so I can use Group Trinity again. Kill off the small enemies, and then I want to use Trinity, go into triangle, square, and I think they should die. If not, they'll be close to death, and I'll just have to do a couple more hits on each. Oh, never mind. Okay, that did not do it as much as I wanted it to. But that's 1 dead. That's 2 dead. And that was insanely clean, so whatever. Those guys, if you hit them from the front, you'll rebound off them. I managed to hit them from the back all 3 times, and it went perfectly well, so that's good. Right, here, I want to use all my AP boosts, apparently. Aerial finish. Quick run and aerial... What's the other one? Aerial spiral. I've already equipped aerial spiral. What's it telling me to do that? Alright, that's not my fault, that's the notes. Cure and Fantasia. So, I do get my cure back. Thankfully. Comment. Alright. I think I know how this fight works. So, these lords, I'm going to take it in turns to combo one of them. First of all, we're going to start off with this red guy. Do another combo here. Then Comet. And then Comet Finisher, which will kill all the clones. Out of the entire game, that's the first time I actually heard sound from the game, personally, was during that Comet. That's kind of cool. Takeaway confirmed the loudest thing in this game. And then I just keep going and attacking these guys. I can go into Valor form here actually, speed this up a bit, if I actually hit them. And now I've just got to take their health down to 0. There's no more of them turning into clones or anything like that. Also, you don't have to finish the first one there with a finisher, which is always cool. Or that one. So there we go. That fight done. Agrabah done. Get out of there real quick. So I guess in the next gummy mission I really should go for the 42069. Considering I thought I got it the first time and I didn't. Yeah, great, thanks. The chipmunks tell us Twilight Town's back. You can go back there now and do that, but you do eventually have to complete Halloween Town, so it works out faster to just do this now while your gummy ship is right next to it. So again, we get one of the best soundtracks in the entire game. Oh yeah, I need points. This is very, very easy to stay alive on as well, so again, it's something I'd be comfortable giving anyone in this arena the controller to, and we'd be fine. Unless they, you know, press the PlayStation button or something like that. Just turned off the console. Just like not feeling caged today.
It's approaching from behind us.
These guys I can get so many points from, so gotta be careful to stop when I reach a certain point. Oh, I also need to take damage. To get the last digit up to 9, I need to take some damage. Again, every time I get hit is 1 point towards my score at the top left. Please hit me. You know, when you're trying to avoid all this, you end up getting hit so many times. But I'm actually trying to get hit, and it's like the most difficult thing in the world. Okay, I'm killing lots of stuff here. I need to calm down. Alright. I still need like 1,000, remember that. Okay, that's a lot. How many points do I need? 400 odd, 370 odd. Okay. I keep getting like loads of enemies grouped together that I'm scared to hit. Let's try and hit that one. 420, 39. Okay. Alright. I think I can do this. This target right at the end, I can only lock on to one of its legs. So if I hold X, it should do a move that just locks on and shouldn't actually shoot him. Oh no, I'm locked onto those enemies at the bottom. I've got to hold X until they disappear. Okay, we're good. That's 1. That's 2. Dodge roll there to parry him. And there we go. I actually managed to get it. Thank God. Also nearly dead, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Luckily, if you time a perfect dodge roll, when he charges into you, you don't take damage. Just parry him away, so, and it's right near the end, so I can't take any more damage. 420.69, it happened. It happened at UKSM 2019, the NEC Arena, Birmingham. That's gonna go down in history books. Like, your grandkids are gonna be learning about that in history class in 60 years from now. 69 years from now or something. Okay, Halloween Town. Goofy, swap Donald for Goofy. Alright, I'm going to be swapping Donald for Goofy. Taking Jack's items. And then putting Finishing Leap and taking Aerial Finish off. Cool. And right here, I summon Genie. And what Genie does is basically just removes the 2 party members. Like, I just don't want them to be here so that these guys can just keep attacking me over and over again. And in the bottom right, you'll see my health go right down, and there we go. Fight ended. So that's another one of the fights that you can end on when you get to a low amount of health. So we do that to get rid of the party members. Genie's not actually useful at this point. We're not going to use him for anything cool yet. He will be used a couple times later though. Possibly. Depends on if I remember the strats or not. Okay. This next fight has a really specific strat that I'm going to try and pull off. So right at the start, this toy box is going to sit down, and I have to wait until he sits down before starting my move. Okay, so yeah, I got some good damage in there. Took him out pretty quickly, and then I dance call immediately, or as fast as I can, to drag these in. If I wait too long for that dance call, it won't drag them in. And this guy's got 1 health. Okay, cool. The finisher got him. A couple of the finishers for those limits have a massive range, so they're able to hit him from a distance away, which is pretty cool.
Let's go.
Alright, so I'm gonna go Valor here for movement. And I'm gonna buy Ethers. I'm glad that I remembered to do that, because it told me to do it in the last world, and I forgot about it, but I saw the shop. Okay, this next fight, I think I'm going to use Trinity a little bit, solo Trinity, to get some damage off and stuff like that. This guy can eat any of these 3 kids right at the start, and depending on which one it is you know what moves to be. Oh, okay, so I got down score, that's fine. I'll just get him over here, do loads of damage. This actually does a lot more damage than Trinity, so it's probably a good idea that I got that move, to be honest. Yeah, so a lot of this fight is him just like switching between the kids that he consumes. I'm gonna go to Valor Form, get loads of extra damage off. Alright, so we're into the very final phase now where he just goes dark mode, swallows all 3 of the kids. Now I've got to fight him off with all of those. So I'm going to do a couple combos until he's a bit lower in health, and I'm going to go into dance call again. And hopefully that should take him out. I'm alternating between triangle and X there for like the most damage. And I'm going to stop the limit there and do a full combo. I think that's a bit faster than going through the whole animation of the finisher. And now we have only a little bit left of this world to go. And we have to make our way back to Santa's house. That's where we are, by the way. If you haven't seen Halloween Town yet, the film, then go ahead and do so, please. It's been out for a while. I can't remember if that item over there is an ether in 2.5. I don't think it is. I'm not going to grab it. You take that chair. Go for it. That may have been off camera, but my only friend just got taken away from me. Brutally. Okay.
Nice view from up here. That's right, away you go.
Alright, so in this fight, it's a bit of a weird one, a bit of an unconventional fight. The Yugi fights have always been unconventional, even in KH1. I need to hit these boxes up. And as you can see, the thing he's standing in, the glass thing, is weakening every time a box hits it. And you need to hit 12 boxes up there to take him out. So I've done 9 so far. I'm actually going to wait before hitting the 12th one up because I think the hammer might come down. I just got a feeling it will. Yep, it did. Now I'm going to use Trinity here for some good damage. This should be enough. Yeah, this is enough. So I can't do that much damage to him, sadly. He's going to go back up. So in this phase, I sent 3 up.
Hope you like the boogie here. I picked out a way.
And then I get to send another 3 up. But then this time it's going to be slightly different. After the next 2 boxes, he's going to change lanes to either the left or the right conveyor belt. This enemy is annoying, by the way, so hopefully he doesn't mess me up. He didn't. Okay, that was really close. And now he's going to continue to shoot the boxes out, and again, 12 to knock him down, so I've already got 8. Now that's 11. So 1 more and he'll be falling down, and I can do some more damage to him again. Kind of low on health. That's very interesting. Party members are both dead too. So here I'm just gonna do a couple combos on him. I would use Jack's limit, but he's currently incapacitated, so I can't do that. If my health gets down a bit lower, I am gonna heal. I do have the cure magic. I haven't used it yet because, I mean, you shouldn't really go on like, oh, I'm gonna mash triangle here. Okay, you have like a few frames to get that, so that's pretty cool. It just gets you over to this conveyor belt a little bit quicker than if you didn't mash, basically. That's 3 boxes. So now after 4, he's gonna change lanes. So again, I'm just looking at the left, and I have to keep my peripheral vision on where Oogi's going, so that I know exactly when to press triangle. So, need another box, and then he's going to move again. This time, I'm just going to go straight to the middle, because he always goes to the middle first, and then there's a chance he keeps going to the left, in which case you press triangle again and walk up there, but thankfully he gave me the good path. So 4 more boxes and he'll be dead. Did I already hit 3? I did, didn't I? Yeah, okay. And then I take him out with 3 combos. Alright, Oogie Boogie dead. Halloween Town dead. And I've saved Christmas. All in the space of about 10 minutes. Oh, this next fight is a treat. Can't wait for this one. So we do end up going back to Twilight Town now. All the way back. Oh, the top left of the world map, by the way, is Atlantica. I really do want to go there, trust me, but it's not fast, so I can't. Get off, and I'm gonna summon Chicken Little before this door. You know what I've had since the end of Agrabah that I haven't been using? The quick run thing. The quick run ability that I got from leveling Wisdom to level 3. I've equipped it, but I haven't been using it for movement, and it's actually way faster than walking. So, I'll do that from now on. These waves, I'm just praying that I'm able to take these out pretty quickly. This one big guy is a really, really hard enemy to deal with, so I wanted to get him gone as quickly as I can. Cool. And then for this phase, what I'm going to do is Blizzard, Finisher, because it's just a bit more consistent. Actually, I want to use Finishing Leap here. I just remembered that was an ability too. So hopefully they'll die kind of soon, and I won't have to deal with their DMs. They're really hard moves. Okay, good. That can go so badly. Like, I have lost 45 seconds to that in a real speed run before. No bueno. And so this is quick run, by the way, that I could have been using this whole time for movement.
Lowell's right, you know.
So it's all...
The thing with this game is, and its comparison to the original KH2 on the PS2 that I mainly run, is for the first hour, everything's pretty similar. Like, you do the same strats, you pick up the same items in general, that sort of thing. It changes so much when you get to the halfway point. Like, the abilities you get changed, things like that, so there's a lot going on here. I'm gonna go to Goofy here, and do Bash for what? Tornado? Tornado, okay. And then when I jump up here, I'm gonna go into Wisdom form as well. Actually, I'll wait a little bit. The reason I'm waiting is because I want to make sure that I get to the next loading zone after I use Wisdom form without losing it, and it's really far away, so I want to make sure that I have enough drive when I get there. So I'm gonna Wisdom now. So yeah, level 3 quick one is a bit faster than level 1, which is why we upgraded it earlier. And this is sort of like the midpoint climax of the game, where there are so many enemies around. You fight a couple organization members, like you have one of the hardest fights in the entire game coming up. And there's also a massive fight against 1,000 Heartless as well that you do, so really picks up with some cool stuff in this section. Get a safety boost again. You can't really have too many, just in case there's an ability that I don't even know exists that I've got to equip later. Is this an AP boost as well? No. Is this? No. Okay. No more AP boost in that section. And okay, yeah, so I made it with about 1.5 bars left, but because I wasn't sure if I make it here in time, yeah, that's why I was really careful using Wisdom form, but we made it fine. I needed to get into that room before it went to 0. So we're now introduced to these clusters. Also, I can do an attack here. Nice. We're introduced to these clusters which fill up in the top left, and when they fill up to the top, you can do some weird, cool stuff with them. I nearly picked up that item because it has a really, really cool item in it in other versions of the game, but not in this one. They stole it from us. Right, so the idea here is to find the one that's red, which the only one I couldn't see. Wow. Alright, so I want to be on Wisdom form. I'll wait for that one to spin around, wait for him to stop, and then Wisdom form. Explosion counts as a finisher, so you want to use a finisher on that block to end this fight. The explosion is the quickest way to do it. And also, I get Wisdom movement afterwards, which is always nice and fast. And this is a new drive form. So even though I've used lots of forms, and you may be thinking, you got a lot of anti-points now, if you were here early in the run. It's fine now. I got Master Form, so all the anti-points are cancelled out again, and I'm starting from fresh. Alright, now this is a good part of the game, where I'm on a bike. I'm on a bike. In the bottom left you can see there's different things I can do. The main one is pressing square here to get charge. That's perfect, good. So charge is the main one I'll be using, it's the best one. But you know, you can guard enemies, you can do cool things like that, so yeah. There are different paths you can take throughout this, like left and right paths. I basically do what I do because everyone's always done it. I would assume that someone timed it a good 10 years ago to be fastest, so it's been used ever since. So again, I can use guard here sometimes to get through these pillars. What I'm going to try and do here is attack. Okay, cool. So if you attack and then turn left or right immediately after attacking, you get a really weird speed boost in that direction. Because usually when you attack off a shield, it like slams you into the wall. So yeah, if you do it around a corner, then you get that extra boost. So that's a really cool thing. You can do it 3 times throughout this, I think, but the 3rd time is very, very tricky, so I'll be doing it twice. That was the 2nd one. The spawns for the bikes are basically consistent, so you're fine. If you've played it before, then you know where they're going to end up. So the section isn't very difficult to get through. Staying immediately on this line is difficult sometimes. Sometimes it'll let you, sometimes it won't. So it'll let me, which is cool. And I can do a little swagger keyblade swing in slow motion. If I pressed X at the right time, we would have seen that. Pretty sure there's no menu here. At least my phone isn't telling me there is. So we move on. Slide dash here, a little bit faster movement. And this next fight, I'm going to be using Chicken Little's help again. Right from the start.
Gives me strength.
I thought for some reason I summoned Genie then. I panicked for a bit. Okay, so...
Back off.
Again, do these little combos, wait for a whistle. Do the combos again, they should die. Get the orbs. And then when I collect the orbs, do the RC. And then repeat, basically. Hopefully Chicken whistles these in, cool. And do the same again. Now in this fight, this is the only example of experience grinding in the entire run that we do. So I want to be, I think it's about 500 experience points away from level 23. So I'm gonna get to level 22, and then I'm gonna get 500 away from the next level, and then I'm gonna end the fight. Because I can end it whenever I want. I have all the orbs. I can just go up to that machine over there and just press triangle and it will end. But yeah, I want to get the experience first. So what level am I currently at? If I could kill one enemy, that'd be great. Alright, level 22, and I'm going to go down to about 1500, I think. I think this is more of a safety thing, really, because, that will do. This is more of a safety thing because during the fight where you go against 1,000 Heartless, one of the Heartless gives you more experience points than the other. So if more of that spawns, then you're going to be higher level. So just in case the lower experienced enemy spawns a lot, you want to get some experience there, build it up. Right, so I'm quick running to the next section here. There's another AP boost up here on the left I'm going to grab. This next fight is very tricky. Yeah, I'm not sure how well it's going to go, but I'll give it a go. What I do know is that I may get to show off Master Form. So this will be the first time I use it, and it's a really, really cool form. So, start the fight. I want to use Comet. And do a couple combos on this guy. And then use Comet Rain, I think. Alright, I think I should have used Comet Rain a little bit earlier, but that's fine. There's loads of orbs here for me to collect. The goal here is to get enough orbs, clusters to fill the top left bar, so I should be pretty close to that, and then I'll only have to hit him a couple more times. Do I get enough? No, okay, just. But the good thing is I can quick run to get close to him. Right, so I've got enough orbs. Now I want to go into Master Form. And then freeze him. Aerial dodge, use a fire for movement to get closer to it. And then I want to do lots of damage. That finisher came out? I don't know why that finisher came out, but it did. Alright, so the goal was to get into that HP and to get max orbs. I'm going to do both, so that's perfectly fine. The start of the fight we can forget about, the rest was perfect, so that was really cool. And now I just use Comet and use attacks until he dies. Cool. So I managed to get through it. We get an extra drive gauge, as you can see in the top right with the bonuses, so my drive gauge is now up to 6, 4, 5, 5. I think it's up to 5. And that fight's done. We get a Keyblade, which is useless for the run. We'll not be using that one. Okay, this fight, I'm gonna magnet and then comet. No, I'm gonna magnet. That's not magnet. Oh, I was meant to customize it. Okay, cool. So, we're gonna be using magnet here. If the game lets me, cool. Thunder, thunder, and then a comet. So I've got all of my drive back. That was the goal of this, really, is to get all my drive back. I'm gonna use Comet Rain here. Kill all these guys. Take them out. Take out this guy, because he is really, really, like, the most painful enemy in this fight by far. And then I'm going to summon Chicken Little to end this fight. I don't need to summon Chicken Little. It might not be faster for this fight specifically, but after this fight, I'm going to get all my drive back. So I use him for that reason, and that reason only. The next fight's kind of important that I don't mess up too badly. So we'll give it a go. Gonna summon Chicken Little immediately. That's Genie? No, it's not. I keep thinking I'm summoning Genie for some reason when that happens. When I look at the bottom left. Okay, so I want to do 3 combos on these guys until they die. Right, the next phase, same thing. Take these guys out. Now this one's the important one. So, I want to whistle to call them in. I then want to use Magnet, trap them all in, dismiss immediately, and then use 2 fires to get lots of magic back. I'm going to use fire again, and then I'm going to Comet, and then Comet Rain. Okay, so I got a decent amount of kills there. The main thing was getting my drive gauge up to about that sort of level. This next fight's going to be really interesting. So this is Demix. He's pretty infamous for being one of the hardest fights casually throughout the game, especially because it's like you haven't really faced an amazingly hard organization boss fight yet. I want to use fire here to build up my drive to the number 4. Cool. And then I want to use limit. I want to use group trinity. So I do the triangle part, walk in the middle, do the square part. Should kill everything. Yep, cool. And then I use the finisher. This is going to do loads of damage to Demix. Like you see his bar just go right down. And then I do this. I go into limit form when he lands. And then I do this. Yeah, that works. Cool. The important thing there is that I stagger him because he was about to use a move that can do like a lot of damage. And then I'm going to use Comet. And then trap him in the corner, use Comet Rain here. I should be able to finish him off if Comet hits enough times. It didn't, but there we go. Cool. So again, really hard fight to do casually. Glad I got through that without dying or anything like that. Vicinity Break, Flash Step, Item Boost. Flash Step. And Item Boost is at the bottom. There we go. I think I know what those abilities do, so I'll be fine. What I do need to do is a customized magnet. I'll have to remember to do that. These guys have a really cool reaction command to do called Rising Sun, like this. Does a hell of a lot of damage and basically one-shots everything if I can get it, so I want to, not that one, I want to try and get those as much as I can, and I got quite a few. That was pretty fast. This is a 4-part fight, so there are 4 sections, and you fight with 4 different characters from the Final Fantasy series. So I'm going to use Rising Sun again, take out all these guys, and now I get a bunch of shadows. In these fights, some of the Final Fantasy characters are really, really good. They do a lot of damage. Leon is one of them. He should be like killing these super quickly. I haven't even touched that large guy over there, and he just took out every single bit of his HP. So sometimes I just leave the Final Fantasy members to do their work and just chill, sit there, enjoy it while it happens. this I really want Rising Suns, so I really want to get those to appear. Okay, I got them. How many times can I hit the big guys? Alright, not that many times, but there's only 3 left, so. And they're all grouped up, which is really good, because it means that my area of effect moves can hit all of them, and also Tifa's. Because Tifa is really good. Oh, there's 2 more. Cool. Alright. The Rising Sun really didn't hit anything. If I do die here, which is not going to happen, as he gets hit again, I get sent to before Demix, so it's actually a really big time loss. I don't think anyone's ever done it in beginner, at least anyone that I know, but it would be really painful if I did it, so. Alright, so I want to... Yeah, in this fight, again, just sort of rely on the Final Fantasy members to do work. And Cloud just destroys everything. So, for this wave, I'm just going to stand over here and wait. There we go. The closer I am to that loading zone, the better at the end there. So Goofy died and came out to life, so all his abilities are unequipped, and we gotta put him back on. We want his Bash and Jackpot. And then for Sora, we want to put on Follow the Wind. I'm just gonna do this for safety, in case I get close to dying in this fight. And then I'm also going to customize Magnet on Triangle. What are these items? AP boost, good. Energy crystal, sure. But the AP boost, I'm sure will come in helpful later on. This fight, you're going to be wanting to look in the bottom left a lot for the triangles that pop up. I want Sparkle Ray constantly throughout this entire fight. I want Sparkle Ray 15 times and then for the fight to end. That's the goal here. Sometimes these robots can mess with you, not give you Sparkle Ray straight away and just do some other move. This one's being really nice to me. We call these guys Steves. Steve is when they give you the reaction command immediately, and they're a Kyle if they don't, so we hate Kyles. And thankfully I've got a lot of Steves so far, so we're doing well. The goal is to stay in the middle of the arena as well. You want to be as centralized as possible. Unfortunately, we're kind of at the edge, but at least we're in the middle in the edge, if that makes sense. Like, we're not up against the cliffs or anything like that, which is where this pod's going by the looks of it. Because we want as many enemies to hit as possible, and if we're sending most of this laser beam into the mountains, then obviously it's not going to be useful. Okay. This has been pretty clean so far. Usually you'd get a few more Kyles than this, so... there we go. Also, if these robots are too far away when you press the triangle command for snag, then there's a chance that it'll mess up and you'll get thrown out somewhere, and that could lose quite a lot of time. There's also a chance if you walk away too far that one of the bots will just despawn. Like, visually they're on the screen, but you can't actually interact with them. Therefore, you walk over to a robot thinking that you can use the reaction command, and he just despawns in front of your face. It's like the most heartbreaking thing in this game. Alright, hopefully this will actually hit them. Okay, cool. And then just Trinity to finish him off. Alright, so that's the 1,000 Heartless done. I didn't even come close to dying, it's just a safety measure in case I get comboed and loads of attacks hit me.
I guess sometimes help. Sure.
Okay, so now that we've done that, we now basically get to revisit all of the Disney worlds that we've been to so far. But this time their visits are really short because obviously you've done like main stories, stuff like that. You've been introduced to the characters. So this next section, they're pretty small, and you generally fight an organization member in them. So the goal of this is just to have small sections, but with really hard fights that are like memorable, things like that. So I'm gonna go over here right at the start. This is to set a warp point for later. that I can access. Also, I want to make sure that Beast is out of my party here. This strategy is quite difficult. I'll see if I can pull it off. I want to use Magnet a couple times. Alright, cool. They all came in. That's really good. Trinity and then Triangle. And that does a lot of damage, as you saw in the top right. Over half damage. The Triangle part of the Trinity pushes the enemies inside and outside of the Magnet. So they get hit multiple times by the Magnet and it does a lot of damage. So that's a really cool strat to pull off. I'm also going to go into Wisdom form here for faster movement. Because again, Wisdom form is, the quick run is not 2 times as fast as the regular quick run, but it's much faster, so we definitely want to be using Wisdom form quick run whenever we can spare the drive form usage. And just quickly get through this section, no problem. And that is, believe it or not, all that we're going to do in this section for right now. There's a bit of a menu to do. Goofy Donald, swap Beast for Goofy. Abilities. Guard break. Guard break. And then Sora, Keyblade, we want Rumbling Rose. And on Master Form we want Hero's Crest. Cool. So now we warp out, and instead of finishing Beast Castle right now, we're gonna go straight over here to Port Royal. And we do this because in Beast Castle there's a very difficult boss fight. Oh, Dark Shard? Alright, that's an ether in the original case too. Yeah, there's a very difficult boss fight at the end of Beast Castle, and we want to be a higher leveled when we do that basically, so that's why we do that. This fight, we use Blizzard. There we go. Probably one of the fastest fights in the entire run, just 4 Blizzards. Item stock. Right now I'm going to use all my AP boosts, and I'm going to equip Horizontal Slash, which I get from the next fight. So I'll equip it then. I escaped the ship for all of these. It's really not worth getting the experience now, especially because we had an experience grind point earlier. Like, if we wanted the experience, then we would have just got it then. It's a bit too much to do those boat fights, they're a bit too slow. Okay. We have Grim Reaper 1 now. Very interesting fight. Whoa. I feel like it glitched a bit at the start, like the visuals, but that might just be me. So, we're going to do sort of specific combos here to do damage. And then I'm going to trap him in a corner with Blizzard. I'm going to use an ether, and then keep doing it until I run out of magic. And then I'm going to go into Master Form. My magic is refilled. I'm going to do that, freeze him, and then I'm going to do one combo, and then I'm going to use a Blizzard and then chain it into a second combo, and then do loads of damage. He's nearly dead. Couple more Blizzards, and good fight. So that works. The reason I was able to do like 2 finishes in a row separated by a Blizzard is I have the ability finishing plus on now, so I get an extra, oh no, Rumbling Rose, the Keyblade, gives you the ability finishing plus, so I can do an extra finisher every combo. So that's pretty cool, I can do that twice. I got Horizontal Slash, so that can be equipped now. This next fight, I'm going to use Magnet Trinity on this guy, because it does a decent amount. Oh, I got Group Trinity because I didn't switch out for Jack, I think, so we'll use Group Trinity, see if it kills. If not, I'll just do a couple combos. Okay, yeah, that killed, so that's fine. Improv strats. So that's one Gambler, that's one Cursed Medallion. If you've watched the films, you know that they need to get all the medallions back in the chest for the curse to be lifted. And that's what we're doing right now, we're trying to lift the curse. So, the goal here is to get all the medallions back from the Gambler enemies. This one's really can be kind of hard to do within the 10-second time limit, but we got that fine. Gotta remember I got quick run. In this room that nobody's behind here.
Back off. Back off.
And unfortunately we don't have the drive gauge to kill the gamblers with the drive form. Would have been a little bit quicker, but we didn't have it, so we can't. And one last guy.
Gather.
Yeah, magnet and then a full aerial combo works really well on those guys. Last medallion, and then make our way to the final fight in the not in the game, in this world. There is a bit of a menu here, I believe. Yeah, I just want to put on draw. Okay. So draw, as you can see, a lot of this world so far has been focused around the medallions. That's definitely the case for this next fight, so we really want draw on for this one. We need to return all the medallions in this chest before we can hit this guy. So I need to make sure I'm getting all the medallions. Thunder, reflect, and then do a blizzard. Collect all the medallions. He's got one more. So I should have all of them. Plug them in. Cool. Alright, so now he becomes vulnerable. And we basically just do a bunch of combos until it becomes invulnerable again. And then he steals the chest, medallions, stuff like that. I'm gonna use an ether here. Alright, so we got him to his HP barrier, which means he's gonna move straight on to the next phase. I stand next to him, guard, and then use the reaction command. If I don't guard that, I get thrown halfway across the arena and I have to chase him down, and he's gonna take loads more medallions. Alright, so wait till I land, lock on. Even though he's not on screen, I get to thunder him twice. Pick up all the medallions. He doesn't have any. Collect them all, cool. Gonna use another ether here.
Yeah, this is it.
And then again, just getting his damage down. His next HP barrier is at about 1 and a bit bars, so I'm nearly there. Who are you? Hello. Okay, so I've reached his next HP barrier. And now what we're going to do here is eventually I'm going to be going into Master Form. I've got to wait for this phase to end first. So, Master Form. And as you can see in the top right, he's got all 882 of these coins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thunder them all out of him. If I take a slight pause between each one, I can maximize the amount that I get. Wait for all of them to be done, pick them all up, then I'm going to blizzard him and put all of them back into the chest. And then get to work doing some combos. So that part takes really long time casually, especially if you don't know about Master Form and how effective those thunders are. And then just do a couple combos till he dies.
This is it.
Cool. Really, really good fight. Okay. We're really getting towards the home stretch now. There's 4 more Disney Worlds, you know, little sections like this, and then we're on to the final world, which, oh boy, that's going to be a journey. I feel like giving the controller to random people, just seeing how they do for the last part might be fun. Give that a go. Grab some people out. Right, so this, I've got to go to party. I was already on it. Jack Goofy. Swap. What am I doing? Swap Jack with Donald. I've already done that. Okay. Customize Jack Sword Attack and Goofy Sword Attack. And then abilities, I want to do Donald's. That off, that on. Okay. Again, I wish I could have like prepared for this run a little bit more so I knew what menus I was doing, stuff like that, but I feel like I sprained my wrist a couple weeks ago and I haven't been able to practice much, so it's been difficult, but I'm here. I haven't been able to practice, but that's fine. I'm having a good time, that's what counts. Right, so I'm going to use down scroll here, mash out X and triangle. The finisher at the end I'm going to have to do, it's going to spread them out a little bit, but that's fine. I think I killed them all. Apart from Rock. Okay, now he's dead. So yeah, the idea here, just hit the boxes into the kids, and then you're done. Just play baseball with kids. Okay, sometimes that room right there will spawn these really rare enemies. They're super easy to kill, and you get loads of experience from them. I would have done that, but yeah, they didn't spawn. This next fight, oh yeah, if you get hit, you come off the skateboard there. This next fight, I'm going to be using magnet finishing leaps. So magnet is the spell that you've been seeing every now and then. Finishing leap is the little thing I do after it. So I'm going to use magnet finishing leaps here. Try and catch them all in the magnet. See if I can kill them all at the same time, so they drop the presents at the same time. I need to get this present before the other guys attack me. Okay, I got them all. That was really scary. If those two enemies get near you and take those presents or hit you once, then the entire fight is ruined. It's going to take like an extra 20 minutes for you to finish it, you know. 20 minutes, slight exaggeration, but it would take a while. Now this is one of the only cases of like pure good old RNG, so they can basically give me whatever boxes they want here. The bigger the box, the more points they give me in the top left. Having this many yellow ones on the side is pretty cool. I want gold ones to show up, green ones at a push, so hopefully I get some gold and green ones at some point. There's a green. Alright, cool. Yellow. Also got the kids that you want to hit and make sure that they can't hit your boxes before you pack them fully. I'm not getting very good luck here. I haven't had a single gold box, but it's finished, so it didn't go too badly. I got some green ones. Now on to, oh, this fight is great. So I'm going to take Goofy out. I don't need him for this fight. Immediately at the start, I'm going to use Dance Call or Duck Flare. Duck Flare works. I like Duck Flare. So we're going to be using Duck Flare here. I'm going to finish it off here using Mega Duck Flare to do loads of damage, get him to his health bar, which he's at. Cool. I need to hit a finisher on his body now, so he'll split up. Cool. Guard this retaliation, and then I've got to swing this into the head, which can be difficult. Like, I've got to be on the side next to the head, so this should work. This will work fine. Right, cool. And now I'm going to summon Peter Pan. And the good thing about Peter Pan is he can stagger your enemies and help do that. So hopefully the entire fight is just going to look like this until he's dead. Well, until he reaches his last HP bar, and then I'm going to do something else at the end. Right, so I'm going to dismiss, reflect, limit, duck flare, and then the finisher. And then the finisher should kill him off. So, good fight, and pretty good world in general. Again, some pretty short worlds throughout here that last like anywhere from like 3 to 6 minutes. So way faster than the first visits. And just a couple more now. Now time for my favourite part. We get to fly on a magic carpet. We actually get to live a whole new world from Aladdin. We get to do it together. Amazing. Alright, so the only menu I have to worry about is right at the end of the level, no problem. There's a rare Heartless. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. Just in case my experience isn't very good. So yeah, this enemy, obviously really quick to kill. Gives you 2,300 experience, which is a lot. You'd have to kill like 7 normal enemies to get that, so really helpful. Just to make sure my experience is nice and high. Right, so carpet movement. If you can get somebody to explain it to you, then congratulations. Because I can't, to be perfectly honest. Carpet movement is really, really stingy. This fight, I'm going to be doing a lot of magnet finishing leaps, stuff like that, to group these guys together. Good. Now this one, I'm going to magnet, and then sort of walk away. Reflect their attack. Magnet finishing leap, cool. That worked pretty well. I don't think that saves time, I just wanted to do it for the swag. Alright, so movement here, yeah. So a lot of the time you see me doing these circles, and that's because if I just do it like a straight movement from left to right, then it's kind of, it's a bit finicky. Also, you need to stop a few times to take him out. You need to stay like pretty much right next to him for him to continue moving, so. Gonna try and pick up this puzzle piece. Oh, got it. Nice. It's pretty precise. Again, doesn't save time, but it's fun. Cool. This one I'm not gonna get, there's no way. Oh, he only went and got it. So, this tower fight, coming up. You do things and stuff, and they all die. So, probably the same magnet finishing leap stuff that I've been doing so far. Gonna make sure to throw an ether halfway through this fight.
Gather. Gather.
I don't need to use an ether, do I?
Yeah.
That was very clean. Cool. So the key to that fight is just keeping them all in the same place at the same time. Magnet really works for that, it's really good crowd control. Okay, now we've got to hit 3 switches with 3 different spells. So I do actually have to use an ether to get my magic up, just because I don't have enough magic to use 3 spells here. So I'm going to go up to here, try and lock onto it. Perfect. And Thunder when it's in a line, because it's yellow. The Thunder, makes sense. The next one coming up, I go at the top of the screen to despawn the enemies, or to make sure that none spawn, because they can mess me up with the targeting here. Use Blizzard in a line to hit those. So the specifics of having to use the spells on these things, plus the carpet movement, make this section quite difficult. Also, you may be wondering why I saved that one to last, when it was basically at my starting position. Well, right after I skip this cutscene, we have to go back to the start, so the order doesn't really matter that much. That ends up being slightly faster than all the others. Oh, right. I always forget there's no cutscene there, that's always a bit of a weird one. So now we get an auto-scroller carpet segment, which means I don't really need to do anything, I can just sit here. But what I do need to do is kill these enemies for experience, so I'm going to be doing that a lot. I'm not going to be particularly, like, needing of experience, I've got plenty, especially after I got that rare Heartless at the start of this world, so I'll just hit enemies, have a good time. When you're playing this game casually, you have to hit a certain amount of enemies here to complete a journal entry for 100%, and that can be really, really challenging for some people. The European version, in fact, they made it way harder for some reason to get that amount of enemies, to get the 100%. So if you're European and you really struggled with this as a kid, then that's why. It wasn't your fault, okay? It wasn't your fault. There's also a specific way of hitting the enemies and a timing for killing them, which means that more enemies spawn, so I know exactly when to hit the enemies to spawn more. Like, I hit one enemy there to spawn these 2. I hit that enemy to bash into the large body that was in the background, so little things like that. So I think I'm meant to be the level behind the one I'm currently on. I'm on level 30 right now. I think I'm meant to be level 29, but about 3,000 experiences from the next level up. So I'm level 30 with 3,000 experience to the next level up, so that's fine. Got that puzzle piece. Nice flick of the wrist there. Right, this is the menu. It's really complicated, so bear with me here. Might take a while. That's it. Just putting on that keyblade. It's a really good keyblade. Making our way to the next fight. Okay. So now we fight Jafar, but he's angry. So yeah, he's big and red. Music for this level, I can already hear it vibrating in my feet. It's pretty cool music, pretty loud music, so enjoy that. The goal here, hit his chest, do lots of damage, and then do loads of combos. I'm gonna go down to his tail now, roll up. So I got 3 combos in, I can get another 3 in here.
Back off. It's over. Take this.
Okay, I think my damage is a little bit low. Well, we can work with this. Gotta get to his belly again and take him out. I am getting destroyed by this guy. Let me down. I think I'm gonna reflect here. Yeah, just let the fireballs kill him there.
Back off. This is it.
So I feel like I'm kind of tight for damage here, but I think I'll be okay. Yeah, I should be okay. I get to do 3 more combos and a magic spell after this to take him out. I'm pretty sure 3 combos will kill him. Also, in the middle of my combos, after the first X press, I'm sort of waiting a second before pressing the next X press. And that means that the first move I use, the slide dash, does a little bit extra damage. It's a really weird mechanic that works with the ability slap shot, so yeah. I just do that a little bit, it gets more damage in, helps you to kill him off at the end. If I failed that, I would have had to sit through like a long animation of him doing this weird attack where I can't hit him, so that would have taken a lot of time, so I'm glad that didn't happen. We're saving all the mess ups for the final world. I know it. And now we finally get to go back to Beast Castle. And remember when we set the warp point when we entered right at the start earlier? Well, that's so we can warp and walk straight into this area for the next fight. Right, so here we're going to be doing a couple magnets. Wait for them to retaliate and use reflect. They're doing a long retaliation. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to try and get some good air combos here. These enemies can be really tricky and their patterns are unpredictable, so you just have to do your best with what you're given. Gonna use an ether here because I really want to group these guys up. And then I'm gonna use duck flare, and this should hopefully kill one. Alright, cool, cool. So Donald actually does help sometimes. Right now I want to change the Rumbling Rose Keyblade, and I want to put Decisive Pumpkin on Valor. And then go into Valor form before the fight.
There's the fun in this.
My name just got called over there. I don't know what it's for. I don't know. Hopefully there's another Jackway. That might be me. So if nobody goes up to the stage over there, then I'm over here. This is weird. Alright, so I'm going to do 9 jumps here, try and get as much damage out as possible. If I want a Nintendo Switch, but I can't go over there because I'm in a speedrun. There's got to be another Jackway, right? Okay. I think it was a different one. I have no idea what's going on. I probably want to heal now, but oh well. This fight, like, I'm sorry, I was a bit distracted. I'm gonna duck flare. I can't duck flare, Donald's dead. What do I do here? Okay, I die. Cool. We'll give that a second shot. Oh, we won't. Fuck it. Sorry for language. I'm gonna be using Mickey here. Usually you don't use Mickey in a run. Usually it's completely fine. And you don't need to use him. But sometimes, on a couple of fights, you get to use Mickey. And basically the way this works is I can't kill him with Mickey, but I can damage him down to 1 health, or until he hits me with this move. I'm gonna trying my best to charge up enough here to revive myself with like full magic and everything, but it's probably not gonna happen. I should try to go as hard as I can to get this. Okay, so I'm gonna try and damage him, get him down to 1 health, so all I have to do is like, okay, cool. Right, so I'm about to respawn, I've got full magic. Hopefully Donald's alive, and I can just duck flare. Okay, thank God. So I got that done eventually. Again, the difficulty of these fights really starts going up, and when you're distracted with your name being called over there, and thinking you've won a Nintendo Switch, you're bound to die in a couple fights. I'm pretty sure there was another guy, unfortunately, so I guess I didn't win a Switch. Would have been nice. And now we head into Land of Dragons 2. Start this well, just general quick run movement to get up the mountain. And now we fight against Riku, just like this guy's best friend in the first game and in the second game, but he doesn't know that this is him, so. Gonna use a couple reflex here to get some good damage off. And I'm going to go use Trinity real quick. And then I'm going to go into limit form, do some good damage. Cool. So that fight's finished. I switch out Mulan for Donald, I believe. And now I quick run down the mountain for a bit. I want Trinity already highlighted in the limit menu because I do a sort of specific little combo here. So I'm going to Magnet, and then Trinity, and then do the triangle part. I locked onto a different enemy, so I did the triangle part on like the different enemies. I didn't hit as many as I thought I would, so I might need to do some more hits at the end of this fight, but that's okay. See how much this Trinity does. Okay, it's doing a decent amount. We got everything. Great. I need more belief in my Trinity combos, I guess. The next fight's going to involve a lot of magnet finishing leaps, that sort of thing. Right at the start I'm going to mash X to get this round breakout. And then on the retaliation here I'm going to reflect twice. Magnet finishing leap. Kill these guys. Reflect, magnet, finishing leap, magnet, finishing leap. I should be able to kill them all here. Cool. So again, the key to a lot of these fights is just to keep them all in a very small area, so you can hit multiple of them with the same combo. That's key to a lot of these fights. Okay, I'm gonna go for a difficult Valor form strat here on this next fight, Storm Rider. See how well I do. Right at the start, I want to hold on to the horn. And he's going to do this real quick. Then I'm going to jump off and try and get as many good combos in as possible. So I'm just waiting for the horn to come back now. And he always flips twice on this time round, so I know to wait a second before jumping off the horn. Oh, okay, I fell off, that's fine. Simply get back on, do a bit more damage. As you can see, you can do a lot of damage here. I got Reflect in there to do a bit more damage, cool. So he's gonna go over there. I'm now gonna go into Dark Flare and use that in a moment, but first of all I'm gonna Reflect and then press the triangle command, just to get a bit of extra damage out. Then I'm going to use Duck Flare, and he's going to die.
So pretty good fight in general, enjoyed that one. This is one of my favorite fights in the game. It has a lot of different strats you can use, and that's one of the hardest ones. Okay, so all of the Disney worlds are done now. We now have the final big world. Well, we go to Twilight Town a little bit first, but then we have the final world and all the final fights, where the difficulty really picks up. This is the point where I'm going to be basically like playing the game for the first time again. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm really under-leveled. Yeah, we'll see how well this goes. First of all, we have a gummy mission, so I can compose myself a little bit before we get there. I don't really know what to do with this one. I'm not going to go for a score or anything. I'm just going to sit back, relax a little bit. I will say before we get to the next world, I tend to do a lot of thinking out loud. So if I'm sitting there going, right, I need to use this, I need to do this, I need to think about this and use this item, then I'm really focusing. I'm trying to do these fights as well as I can. Next time, if I submit a run to one of these, hopefully my thumbs and my wrists are all okay, and I can get some good practice in before the event. I'd like to stay at this score, the 5:12:29, because this is actually a time I got in a different speed run. I got 5 hours, 12 minutes, 29 seconds. So it'd be pretty cool if I kept that score. But towards the end, I'm gonna be killing enemies to get some more health anyway, so. So these little walls look like you'd have to shoot them to open them, and you can, like that. But I prefer to just dodge roll through them, like that. I want to lie to you and tell you that's really technical, but it's not. And this is a big old orb. You can't kill this in the speedrun. You need a really, really powerful ship to be able to kill this, so the only thing you can really do here is just kill enemies that give you lots of health, basically, to make sure you don't die. That's about it. Okay, didn't die. Good. It's generally a good thing. Okay.
Piece of cake.
Another opportunity to mash triangle there at the end. Yeah. For everyone listening at home that managed to hear that. Okay. Start of this world, there's a lot of movement. Basically like in the tutorial section when we were in Twilight Town, just moving around, getting to place, but we only have one destination here. We got to get over to the woods for the next fight. There's no skateboard in here, sadly. It would have been a little bit faster if they plopped one in. Right, in this area, I want to summon Genie, and also I want to make sure he's in he spawned in Master Form already, so that's good. You can change Genie's form based on the drive forms that you have. So he's already in Master Form, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to try and pull off this strat. We'll see how it goes. If I pull it off, it'll look really good. Oh, I missed with that one, that's fine. So should be able to kill both of those or nearabouts. Yep, cool. And then now there's only like 3 more enemies I think that I need to take out. Unfortunately they spawn in 2s at this point, so. But I managed to catch them both, that's pretty good. Alright, really happy with how that fight went. That's a difficult strat and yeah, happy that went well. Now we just quick run into the next section. Want to go upstairs in the mansion to the next fight. Only a little bit. Oh, I missed the sticker, but oh well. Right here, if you do have audio, there's a small bit of audio that loops over and over again here every time you enter and leave the cutscene. So that's pretty funny to do in a run. Gonna mash X at the start, wait for them to retaliate, reflect, magnet, finishing leap, thunder, or just one thunder, cool. So I'm kind of remembering strats from when I've watched people play it, which is pretty cool. Okay, this one though, this one's really, really tricky. I think I want to reverse it at the start, finishing leap, do a couple hits, do the same a couple times again. The thing with Axel here is that he can hit enemies where you really don't want them, like just halfway across the arena. I'm gonna go into limit form here to basically just to refresh my magic. Like I went straight back out of it, and then I'm straight back to doing the same combo on these guys. Magnet, finishing leap, couple hits. I'm gonna reflect here, magnet, finishing leap, magnet, finishing leap, couple hits. Now there's just one enemy left. If I can get him out of the floor, then he's dead. Cool. And now for the hard part, which is basically all of the end game. Everything that's left. Starting with the next fight. The next fight is really difficult. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, we'll see how it goes. It's the fight against Roxas, which a lot of people might know. If they've played the game before, obviously you know it, but it's an iconic fight for being not only like very, very difficult, but fun as well. Like a lot of people would say it's a good fun fight, so let's see how it goes.
Take that. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, take this. This is it. Back off. It's over.
Alright, so he's using this move right now. I have to stay away from him. Hopefully the quick runs mean that I shouldn't get hit by any of these balls. I didn't, cool. Use a couple reflects here, and dead. Cool, alright. Bit of movement to get back to the fight. We may see a couple deaths here, I'm not gonna lie.
Take that. This is it. It's over. Take this. Back off. Defense.
It was a good start in terms of my health. I got a good amount of health left, so that's good. Okay, I'm gonna use Trinity here to get some extra damage off. And then I'm gonna go into limit form. And just do this a bunch of times. Alright, this move again, I'm gonna use an ether. And another one, make sure I got full magic for the next part. So the next part I'm going to try and use a bunch of reflex to do some damage against him. And I'm also going to use Trinity when I can. So stagger him a little bit, this is good. Get a few hits off. Hopefully the reflex hits him for some good damage. Alright, I'm going to Trinity. Hopefully he lets me do another combo here. Okay, good. That's one of the end fights that I was really nervous for. There's only a couple, 2 or 3 more to go. I will take like 2 deaths maybe. I can't remember, but I'll take it. Right, I want to put Blizzard on Customize. There's a big old menu here. I've already got Blizzard. I'm going to put Ether on Customize. I want to put Supercom 1 on Sora. Abilities, I want to change Vicinity Break, Slapshot, Draw. There's a lot I've got to change. Slapshot, Vicinity Break, Draws on. I want that off. Combo Master and Guard. Minus Guards, plus Combo Master. There we go. And what was the last one again? Drive Boost. Can I put Drive Boost on? I can. Cool. I promise I'll explain what I'm doing in a minute. Okay, so I wanted that. That was the key. Before I entered that room, I didn't have enough drive gauge, so I was trying my best to raise that as quick as I could, which I managed to do quite well, which is good. Sell all my potions, buy ethers, synthesize to get the elixir. It's another little menu I've got to do, which is take Drive Boost off and add Aerial Finish. Drive Boost and Aerial Finish. And then the Keyblade, Rumbling Rose, yeah. Also, I want to put on 4 ethers, an elixir, and another elixir? No, just another ether, okay. This fight is ridiculous. It's possibly the hardest fight in the run, the one that I would usually have the most trouble with, so there's going to be a lot of duck flare. It's one of Donald's limits. it consumes the entire magic bar, so a lot of the time I'm going to be using ethers to refill my magic, stuff like that. So the goal here is to just get a lot of duck flare damage off on him. I'm going to wait until he reloads here. That's good enough. And do a couple combos on him while using the duck flare. Because every time I'm in a limit, I become invulnerable to attacks, so I can just attack non-stop and do loads of damage. Okay. So every now and then he'll go into this phase. I have to wait out 3 attacks, and then I can attack him normally. Okay, let me hit. Good. I'm gonna go into duck flare here, and then finish it straight away to get loads of damage off. How close am I gonna be to killing? Not close enough. Okay. That's a oh, he reloaded. I could have got him. No. What is he doing? I have no idea what he did then. Usually after a move like that, after he takes that much damage and he's nearly dead, he'll be out of there. Like he'd be on the next flight to Spain, but he just decided to reload twice and let me kill him. So I thought that was going to be a few deaths, and it wasn't. I am so happy right now. Awesome. Let's keep it going. Can't believe Sigpar's in Spain. What's he doing there? Okay, so there's still 2 more boss fights left. One of them is really easy because I'm going to be doing a strat which is really easy. It's going to lose me a good 15 seconds to the fastest possible strat, but it's funny and I'm sure people will appreciate it. This fight, however, is not going to be funny. This fight is really dangerous and I'm not a big fan. That's a good start. So you want to hit him at the start because it lowers your drive gauge there to 0 quicker, but obviously it's a little bit dangerous to do so. So the goal here is to get reflects on the cards and stuff like that to get extra damage in. I'm already nearly dead. Yeah, killing the cards is really important because they do obviously a lot of damage. I'm actually gonna cure. I'm gonna use cure there just to be safe. Try not to die during this fight. Alright, he does this pattern 3 times and have to pick up the card that has him in it. So just keep your eye out. Silly old cup and ball trick. I'm also gonna ether, get my magic back a little bit. This one? No. Alright, this one. Cool.
Back off! Take this! Take this!
Huh. Okay. So I used all 3 reflects there a little bit too early.
This is it! This is it!
Alright, I'm gonna go into limit form here. Get some extra damage off. We now have dodge roll instead of other moves. He's in the air? Okay, sure. Get some good damage off and now he's gonna use his DM. Alright, so right here I've got to press X on the circles. Makes sense, trust me. Okay, cool. Got through that. That took me a long time to do when I was younger. And he's dead. Cool. Blood sword down. Now I need to get up to 3 drive bars during SciX to do the strat I want to do. I'm pretty sure it's going to be possible with a couple limits. So I'm going to give that a go. And go from there.
Do you feel it? The moon's power. Moon, shine down.
Oh, I don't have guard on, so I can't use guard there. Cool. Right, here's where it starts. So, I want to use Duck Flare and the finisher, and then a bunch of aerial spirals. That should put my drive gauge up a lot. I did a decent amount. I'll give it that. Another ether. Another Duck Flare, another finisher. Drive gauge is up to 3, that's good. He is going to teleport in a minute, but that's life. That's Stitch.
Moon, shine down.
Okay. That is that is not the Peter Pan that you're looking for. So it looks like I'm using Stitch. So yeah, I don't need him. I'm going to dismiss him pretty quickly there. And use Duck Flare instead. Just a finisher, hopefully get lots of damage off. It's not going to kill him, but it's going to be some good damage so I can kill him quickly the next time after he berserks.
Moon, shine down.
Use some more ethers again. I'm pretty sure I got a ton of ethers, so I don't need to be like careful using them. The berserks have gone really, really well. I've got to the weapon really quickly. And Mega Flare, and he's dead. Cool. So the strat I was going to show off would have involved Peter Pan, but I summoned Stitch, so couldn't really do that strat anymore. Also, Stitch is probably one of the worst summons to pull in that fight, to be honest. So, yeah. We got through it, deathless, happy about that. And we really are down to like the final fights now. There's 5 more to go. There is a slight menu that I'm going to do right here, which is Riku and Donald. That's already done. And put aerial recovery? I have aerial recovery, so we won't put on aerial recovery. What I will do is take Riku's ethos. Cool. Now we just make our way up to the top. I'm gonna try and limit my usage of ethers a little bit, because I'm unsure, like I may have used too many at this point. It's not gonna be the end of the world, but I wanna make sure the final fight is as easy for me as possible, and having extra ethers would definitely ensure that. So here we go, headed up to the final fights. So he grabs you right at the start, and you got to do this reaction command. In a second, he's going to come down the mountain. They're going to clash. There's 3 reaction commands you can pick, and the best one is the 3rd one. And it only shows up on screen for like a split second, so it's kind of difficult to get. Yeah, got it. This is going to do some good damage.
It's over. Back off.
So again, likewise to a lot of other fights, there's going to be a lot of reflex and like working around that to do damage.
Back off. It's over. This is it. Take this. This is it.
I'm going to go for a difficult strat here. So I'm going to use limit. And then after this, I'm going to go straight into drive. Okay. It's working so far. Use this. If it breaks out, then it's going to be really bad. Please kill. It killed. Awesome. Okay. So that skips him throwing you up against the building again and taking another good 30 seconds onto the fight. So that was really, really useful. But if I fail that, then I run out of drive and I have 0 drive gauge right now and I need it for the next section. So that was super important to get right. I can't believe I actually went for it. But to save the 30 seconds of getting pushed up that building, I went for it, it worked. We're good. So now we're into the very final section of the game.
Let's go.
And hopefully I finish it in the next 30 minutes or so. A lot of the strats I'm about to be using are based on strats from the original KH2 more because I'm way more comfortable with them, so I'll be doing a few of those throughout this section. Right here, you got to blow these enemies into the core. They just take 1 hit, so Magnet works really, really well because of its area effect. So it immediately swallows them up and sends them towards the core. So you can just use 4 magnets to do this part. And then mash triangle to get over to the next side. And right here, I'm going to be going to Master Form just to replenish my magic, basically. So my magic's now back to full. I can start using magnets with Master Form. Hopefully they land in the middle of the platform. That's better. And then after this magnet, I'm going to go around and just attack them normally until the core's dead. Oh, cool. Now in this next section, I'm about to do a little glitch. So as I fall from the start, I'm going to magnet the core and revert my drive form. Now look in the bottom right at my drive gauge. It just slowly goes up, so I got a little bit of extra drive there, which is cool. And I'm probably going to need it for parts of this fight as well. Alright, so now we can do damage to this.
It's over. Yeah. Gather. Take this.
Pretty specific combos to do a good amount of damage here.
Back off. Yeah.
And I'm also going to summon Stitch here.
Give me strength.
Now Stitch can refill my magic whenever he feels like it, so right now he could do it, but he's not. I'd really like it if he did it soon though. I'm sure he will. Stitch always comes through in the end. Stitch? Stitch, come on buddy. Come through. You're right on that side of the screen. Thank you. Okay, so I got my magic back. I can now start actually doing this quite quickly with magnets and finishing leaps. It's actually going to be better in some of these cases to do thunders as well, because thunder does a lot of damage, and also the enemies are off the ground a lot, so it's hard to hit them with finishing leap. Thank you, Stitch. Perfect timing. A couple more of these, and these should be dead. Alright, so I'm going to dismiss Stitch now, and try and build up some of my MP here. Use Trinity, just to get my MP recharge going, because, yeah, let's try and get my drive back. I want that drive to be a 3, really. I can get it during the next fight, so it's no problem if it's not there yet, so, yeah, I'll get it during the next fight. That's fine. This is Armor Zemnis 1 on his chair. A lot of this fight is going to be based around the use of Reflect. So I'm actually going to use an Ether here so I can use more Reflects. The thing is with this fight, if you use a combo at the wrong time, then you don't have time to get Reflect off. So you have to be really careful when you combo. Basically, exactly the opposite of what I'm doing so far. I feel like he's going to attack me. Yep, I knew it. Okay. I'm going to switch out Riku and use Dark Flare here, I think. Dark Flare does a lot of damage to this guy. Alright, so use the finisher of Dark Flare, see if this can kill him. speed killer. Awesome. And we got our drive gauge up to 5, so that's cool as well, I guess. Now this next fight coming up, thankfully they made it faster in this version compared to some of the others, but this fight can drag on quite a while. It's this big old dragon. It looks cool. It definitely looks cool, and I'm sure I enjoyed it the first time I played it, but once you've played this game enough, like you start to feel this being quite slow, but yeah, it's like nearly double the speed of the original game and how quick you kill all of his parts, so thank God for that. So the square move I'm using is the laser. This thing, it does damage every now and then. I press circle when I get shot at, and it absorbs those bullets as energy. And in the top left, you can see how many I've absorbed. And when it's all the way full, I get to use the mega laser, which you see in the bottom left as a triangle command. I'm actually going to save it because this one's nearly dead already, so I don't need to use it for this one. But as soon as I get to the next part, his second engine, I'm going to use this mega laser immediately, and it should wipe it out. Practically all of it, so yeah, mega laser is stupidly powerful. If you miss one, or do it at the wrong time, or when a part only has like 1 health left, then you're putting yourself in a bad place for the rest of the fight. So I'm gonna mega laser here. As soon as it spawns, like, it does an insane amount of damage, like 6 bars gone, just like that. Something I wish I could do for the final boss. But thankfully I'm not on this really cool snazzy spaceship for the final boss. So now we just have that wing, and that wing, and then we're good. Again, try and build up a mega laser here. Probably gonna save it for the second wing. We'll see how I feel when I get it. Yeah, at this point it's gonna take so long for the wing to come back up, so it can actually get hit by the mega laser, that there's no point. I'll just save it for the next one. And the next wing will be taken out real quick. The fight after this is very similar to the previous one, where he's sitting on the armchair. So basically a bunch of reflex, that sort of thing. Not too worried about it. And then we have the final fight, which is going to be the real challenge. But that wing's dead. Good thing I saved the mega laser. I think that definitely worked out well for me there. So 2 more fights, and this game is over. Very bright screen there. Okay. Again, using a lot of reflex here. I'm going to quick run at the start. And then get the reflect in. Ah, didn't get the reflect in, that's fine. Cool, okay. Managed to get a reflect. Alright, that was a good first phase. So you do him a good amount of damage, and then he spawns these buildings and you have to find the closest one to you. Some of them despawn, some of them other buildings hit, and you can land on these, by the way. It's kind of cool. Right at the start of this move, I'm gonna aerial dodge and then glide immediately, and it's pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. He's gonna use these snowflake moves. I'm actually gonna cure here. Oh no, Riku healed me. Cool. That's one good thing about Riku in these final fights, is he heals you a lot, so that's pretty cool. Of course, when you truly need it and you can't cure, he won't heal you, but yeah. Again, get these reflects in. I need to do a little bit more damage to get it to the next phase. This should be enough. Yep, cool. Right, so I'm gonna go find me a building again. See which one spawn. Yeah, this one works, I guess. What I do need to do though is... Oh. Okay. I need to get thrown back to the start of the stage, apparently. This one, maybe? Go on. Yes, thank you. Okay, Okay, so I'm gonna hold forward, mash circle, and then go straight into square to glide. And that's gonna make sure he doesn't spawn those snowflakes. Which is, it saves a good amount of time because I can just cleanly get to him over here. And take a lot of damage. That's fine. No problem. Riku healed me again. See, I love this guy. I'm gonna use an ether here. And then finish him off. Cool. One last fight. And this is gonna be a tricky one. This is gonna be a tricky one.
Anger and hate are
Right as Sayui's does the same thing, so I can reflect immediately to get some damage off. And then I'm pressing the reversal command a lot, and then juggling it with reflex to do damage. Or he can do a lot of damage to me. That works. Okay, so I need to press this reaction command. I'm kind of close to death, so if he hits me with something, I'm gonna die. Riku, I think this is in heal range, so Riku should heal me at some point. Or heal himself. Okay, there we go. He just wanted to make sure he was fine first. That makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, I just want to get a lot of reflex off of damage here. Do some good combos, stuff like that. He's kind of probably going to attack me again here. Like that. Okay, so he's in his laser phase. So I'm just going to use reflex here to shrug off all the lasers. When I go low on magic, I can use an ether. I think I have 5 available to use, so I'll be fine for magic. Yeah, that's an ether. Okay. Got some decent damage off. I'm pretty happy with that. Riku healed me again, which is awesome. I was a little bit worried. I saw the health go down a little bit and I was a bit scared there, but we got it. Okay, so this is Riku phase. So I actually get to control Riku for the first time in the entire game. So that's pretty cool. I forgot what the buttons do, to be honest. I haven't been here for a while, but... Right, so it's basically just want to walk forward, press square every now and then to stop him making shields in front of me, and then get back to Sora. Nearly there. I think your health gets replenished, but I can't remember. We'll see. I'm here. Hello. Thank you. I think I got there too fast. The game broke. Right, so I'm going to ether straight away to get my magic back. And then do some damage on him. Hopefully he'll do the throw move when he throws me up into the air, and I can do a bunch of reflex now. Oh wow, look at that. The throw move. Cool. So again, pressing lots of triangle, and then doing reflex every now and then to get some damage in. Oh, not taking too much damage. Oh, okay, I'm mashing triangle. The command's broken. I forgot the command's broken. Oh. Okay. Glad I managed to get that cure off. Ether, get my magic back. He's nearly dead. Alright, cool. So, this is like the final cutscene basically. We got like another minute and a half. And this section right here, you just mash X and triangle to reflect these lasers. There's nothing to it really. You don't even have to mash that hard. You can press them fairly lightly and be fine. But obviously, if you're on 1 HP and 1 laser's gonna kill you, you mash like hell, so... Thankfully, I'm not in that situation right now. I managed to get that cure off and not die, which would have wasted like 3 minutes, so... That's good. Wait till the end of this section, and then I can put the controller down for a good minute. Alright, cool. What's the time? 17:38. Okay, that's good. That's good. I wasn't going to say anything yet because I didn't want to jinx it, but I had a train booked for 6 PM. It's currently 5:38. So, if this took any longer, then it would have been hard to catch my train. Thankfully, I can just pack up and go to the train station, so, yeah. I didn't want to mention it earlier, just in case people, I don't know, get worried or excited, depending on who you are. Yeah, but I'll be fine. Right at the end here, I'm going to lock on, and I'm going to use the Thunder. And as soon as I hit him, I'm gonna yell time, and then the timer should stop. And then, so will UKSM for the day. But we'll be back tomorrow. Alright, so he's dead. Time, done. We finished Kingdom Hearts 2. There's more than 2 people in the crowd, awesome. Yeah, that's 2.5. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go catch my train. So if you guys want to wrap it up, thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it.